in Southeast Michigan. Ford dealers, Alec Marsh coming off a double-figure strikeout game, so we show you quickly.
What's going on, everybody? John on here with you. It's a Wednesday, September 18, 2024. How's everybody doing out there today? This is going to be a big game. We're right just under the gun of the start here at Kaufman. Alec Marsh going to take the mound, 8 and 8, 452, 22% strikeout rate, 7% walk rate, about a 739 OPS. Going to be a lot different than Cole Raggins, I would imagine, from yesterday. Sider threw over about 105 pitches. So we'll see what Marsh is going to be able to bring today. Jason Benetti had talked about it against the local assignment here for Bally Sports Detroit tonight that Tigers could draw within a couple games if they sweep Kansas City. You got Tarek Skubal on the mound in the bottom half of the first. Parker Meadows set to lead off now. He's 0-2 in the count right now. 242, 8 home runs, 27 RBI, 35 runs, 22 walks, 66 strikeouts for the 24-year-old. He is money when it gets close to late or extra innings. This one is back toward his right foot on a curveball that was absolutely spiked in the dirt and make it 1-2. Reese Olson, after the off day, is going to get the start at Camden Yards when the Tigers switch over to Baltimore. Then they will go back home for Comerica for the final, I believe, 6 games of the season. Parker Meadows, 93 miles an hour. He followed straight back. The Yankees and the Mariners will get going about 9:40 local time for me, 6:40 for the California side. In terms of Seattle and everything else on that time zone, 1-2. Parker Meadows, this is blasted toward first three. Yuri Gurriel and hot soup over there. He goes ahead and makes the catch. It's the first one turned away. That was about 112 miles an hour on the exit velocity. That was absolutely scolded. The 40-year-old still got a sweet pair of hands. Kerry Carpenter is going to be the DH today. His 76th game on the season, 283, 15 bombs, 50 RBI. I don't think there's going to be any portion now because you have the DH where he's going to get pulled from this lineup because you would go ahead and put a pitcher in that regard. Plus 1.5 on the AL wildcard at 82 and 70 are the Kansas City Royals. The Tigers are 79 and 73. They are a game and a half out entering today. We will keep our eyes on the Guardians and the Twins score because if the Tigers win and the Twins lose, they'll be down to a half a game. Remember, the Tigers need to be 1 game ahead of Minnesota in order to make the playoffs because they own the tiebreakers. That'll be everything that we have to watch. If we get close to that at the end, even if it gets against the White Sox, if it's a win and in, you bet I'm going to do the broadcast. 2-0, 95 on the third base line. It's called foul. So Jason Benetti, Andy Dirks, they have the call on the TV side for Bally Sports Detroit. My name is John Ott. I'm going to be bringing you this game and then giving you the coverage at hopelessportsguy.wordpress.com. On the radio side, where it's Bobby Scales and Dan Dickerson, if you caught the game yesterday at all and you saw the TV side, it was Bobby Scales with a fly ball. Caught that thing barehanded. He saved the computer equipment, and Dan Dickerson gave him a fist bump. It was pretty cool to be able to see that. 2-2 against Carey. This is Marsh's 10th pitch. Inside on a slider. It's a full count. 13-inning final. The Angels win 4-3 over the White Sox. Man, oh man, it just does not get any better for the White Sox. Baltimore's losing 4-2 to San Francisco. They've been playing some poor baseball lately. And this one hit Kerry Carpenter right in the leg. He's going to take that one for a ball. He's trying to walk it off. There's a little bit of a ginger hop toward first base. Hopefully Kerry's all right. It hit him right on the knee. Thankfully, it was a curveball, but it hit him right in the funny part of the knee. And he's going to be shaking that one out. So DH today, but he's still going to wear the pain, I guess. That's why he's got a smile on his face. He's definitely smart enough there. Winsell Perez will be the third batter here for the Tigers. Switch bat, 242, 9 home runs, 34 RBI. As Kerry Carpenter had to wear a curveball at first base. Tigers get their first runner of the game. We're just under Wayne Kaufman. I'm there with you on the call. 10 seconds to go on the pitch clock here as Winsell Perez gets set to dig in. It's a lollipop curveball, very high, and this will be thrown back across. I think Salvador Perez is going to be behind the dish today. They'll look at my lineup. No Freddie Fermin tonight, although he'll be available as a bench bat. 1-0. This is laced right down the middle of the strike zone, and this should be a first to third, even off the knee knock for Kerry Carpenter. So Winsell Perez gets a single, puts Carpenter all the way to third base, and the Tigers are in business unless they hit into a double play here. They got Riley Green cleaning up that fourth with ducks in the pond at first and third. Tigers were able to start the game off right yesterday. There was a lot of runners left in scoring position in between both teams. Kansas City Royals left the bases loaded twice last night. Somehow the Tigers still came out with a victory. They're trying to get a sweep in the series. Apologize if you hear any barking dogs. It's the Pekingese downstairs. He's had a long day. I'll definitely tell you that. Riley Green, 95, right down the middle. First inning is when you want to get to Alec Marsh, apparently. 5.87 ERA in the first. In the second, he rebounds 117. In the third, it's 4.70. In the fourth, it's 8.14. So try to get to him early. He might not be around. 0-1. Riley Green trying to come through. It's just two straight quesos of a fastball at 95. That was powered past Riley Green. Hopefully you try to speed up that bat, but we'll see if they bring a curveball on the other side. 0 for 3 with a K for Riley Green against Marsh in this 127 game. Even higher on a fastball there. Now 1-2, so all fastballs here so far against Riley Green. Tigers have early danger, and they're trying to start with the lead. They're trying to sweep this series because they want to keep pace to try to get in the AL wildcard. 1-2 against Riley. Inside with a fastball, 4 straight. This one bunched him back. Was not close though. Now it's 2-2. Marsh 18 pitches in his day. Four-seam has been dead even at 95. That's all he's thrown so far to Riley. He's got the quick sweat on, about 86 degrees of Kaufman right now. 2-2. That is a gorgeous curve, and it throws Riley. 12-6 puts him away, and that'll leave it up to Spencer Torkelson. Again, the Tigers left so many runners in scoring position a la Kansas City yesterday. You do not want to put yourself in that same sequence and think that you will come through with the sweep. So this is a big leverage at bat here early for Spencer Torkelson. Runners at first and third, and he cuts on a four-seam that was not close. Again, 95. Tigers have been swinging late through that. It doesn't seem like you should, but maybe they're trying to sit on a breaking ball from my eye. I'm just giving you the play-by-play on the color side from what I see, but that certainly seems to be the case. 223 right now for Spencer Torkelson in his 79th game. Trying to come through for the Tigers early. 95, very high toward the dome. They get 1-1. If Spencer Torkelson does reach, likely the Tigers take the lead, and it'll be up to Jace Young batting 6th for AJ Hinch's squad. 1-1. 95, high and outside. 2-1 now. Fans, they are not really in attendance right now. Again, it's early. Maybe everybody's in the stands trying to get pretzels and everything else, but there's a lot of empty seats right now. Kansas City, Missouri, 2-1. Spiked in the dirt. This is a good block. Perez, and they take the throw back. Winsell Perez and Salvador Perez. When Perez on Perez crime, but Winsell gets back. He thought this might get away. This was a very good block from Salvi, and he gunned it over to first, and they just got back to the Tigers and Winsell Perez. 3-1 with 2 outs. Runners would be off of the pitch at 3-2. They're showing Jason Benetti and Andy Dirks, 2 of the best in the business on the TV side, just trying to see if the Tigers will come through here on a 3-1 leverage at bat just to begin the ball game. Inside, Jace Young will bat with the bases loaded in the top of the first. He does not have a home run yet in his Young campaign. Jace Young does have 3 RBI. He's only batting .214. This is a big moment for the young man. You don't want to get too big on the fastball here, but if it's down the middle, like Marsh has been able to do against Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson, maybe first pitch, you should think about swinging at the fastball. That's what he's featured to Green and Torque. Pitch clock to 10. Bases loaded, and he starts with a curveball. So that is a good mind alter there of what you thought might come across the plate. Perfect pitch for Marsh. Carpenter, Perez, Torkelson, the base runners with 2 outs just to begin the game. Jace, another beautiful curveball. That one just dotted on the bottom left side inside corner. Now it's 0-2. Jace is going to have to fight here if he wants to come through for the Tigres. 0-2. 96, right down the middle. And that's followed back. Still 0-2. Matt Quintrero is the Kansas City Royals manager, bench boss, as he looks on. Kansas City's got a lot to play for in this game. They don't want to lose their wild card leverage. 0-2. Marsh trying to strike out Young. Very high. Has to back out Jace Young. Almost buzzed the tower. 1-2. At least if the Tigers don't come through here, they'll be making Marsh work. Again, we've talked about his numbers, about 5.13 ERA in the first. And this could balloon here with 1 base hit, could score 2 for the Tigers. Or they could leave them loaded. 1-2. Marsh gets the sign from Salvi. And swing and a miss on a curveball. Marsh, 3 of them. And it got Jace Young all 3 times. 2 for strikes and 1 swinging. Tigers leave them loaded. Tarek Skubal is going to come to the mound when we come back. I'm just going to get some notes here as I will kind of shut up a little bit early during the commercial breaks for the game story. I appreciate you guys following along nonetheless.
Introducing the exclusive Detroit Lions Power 50 Hybrid. This is invested in the F-150. It's a limited edition with only 880 Lions pride months. Detail from the Detroit Lions exterior badging to the cage stitching on the interior. Each one is individual.
So it was a carp hit by pitch, Winsell single, Torque walk. Tigers don't score. Meadows line out and Green struck out. And then Jace Young on a good curveball from Brendan Marsh, able to get the strikeout. And the Tigers are turned away with nothing. Alec Marsh, I should say. I think Brandon Marsh is the Philadelphia Philly. So Tarek Skubal is going to be on the mound here for Detroit, the Cy Young candidate for the Tigers, to see if he can try to lock this down as we get back into the play-by-play. So Tarek Skubal, 16-4, 250, strikeout rate of 30%, walk rate under 5, OPS 574, making his 29th start for Detroit. Tommy Pham will take 95, almost center cut. That's Tarek Skubal's first pitch into his day. Again, Tigers 79-73, Kansas City Royals 82-70. Tigers left them loaded at the top of the first. Hope that does not come back to haunt them. It did not yesterday. They're going to make sure it does not today. Again, they have the series win as this one is dived past Zach McKinstry, and Tommy Pham will get a soft single to start the bottom of the first for the Royals. So Tigers do win this series regardless of what happens today, but unless they get some stroke of luck again from the Minnesota Twins, Tigers really just need to keep winning games because there is no guarantee this weekend against the Baltimore Orioles that are taking 2 or 3 at Comerica Park. They could easily lose 2 or 3 in Camden Yards, even though Baltimore's not been playing well. So you really have to get this win if you're Detroit. Really all you can do coming into this between KC and Baltimore, I was hoping for 4-2. They are on that track right now as they're 2-0 right now in this portion of it. Bobby Witt, 95 on a low outside black. The Minnesota Twins have just taken the lead on the Cleveland Guardians 2-1. We'll give you an inning update once this is done here. Tenuous lead for Pham at first. Bobby Witt hitting .331. This followed straight back. This was outside the zone 95 on a 4-seam. So Tarek hasn't leaned back yet as we're just starting this game. You imagine it ease into a little bit, then you get to the third and fourth. You might see Tarek ramp that up to about 98, 99. He's definitely capable. Tigers just 1.5 back entering today. 1-2 against the very dangerous Bobby Witt. 97, see you later. You got Bobby Witt on a fastball that was on the outside high. It was in the zone, but it set him up with an outside and then came back with 97 paint. And Bobby Witt is going to have to go grab some pine. Salvador Perez still has the home run power with 27 and 102 RBI, but he can reach outside the strike zone. So watch for that if you're the Tigers. He's a good bad ball hitter, 98, and they will say that he went. So 95, and then we're already going to 98. So much for what I said about the third inning ramping up. Tarek Skubal's doing it right now. They want to make sure that they get away from Selvey and then kind of ease into Robbie Grossman, I'm guessing. 0-1. Skubal will get the sign from Rogers. This is a ground ball, and this gets through the shortstop. So Salvador Perez gets a single. That also answers Tommy Pham, 2 on and 1 out. Robbie Grossman, it's very interesting. I know we talked about this last year alongside with Alec Nava when he was a member of the winning Texas Rangers. But Robbie was in the middle of the order, the former Tiger here, former Athletic. He's been around a long time. 3 home runs, 14 RBI, just his 82nd game. And it's a 223 average. Does not supply a lot of power. He's a veteran bat, but I don't think he should be that dangerous unless Tarek Skubal absolutely lays one in. So 97 up high as Jake Rogers will go ahead and get back in the crouch, set the sign. They want to make sure they get Grossman here. He is a double play candidate. But anything else, you want to get these outs and keep the score line right where it is. Spiked in the dirt with a changeup. Make it 2-0. So Tarek Skubal, it's a 2-0 count. Yuli Gurriel, the former Houston Astro, would be next. Miami Marlin. 223 for Grossman in his 82nd game. 2-0 is the count against Robbie. He's batting cleanup here for the Royals. 95 is dotted on a low outside corner as Tarek Skubal tries to work his way back into this count. 70% fastball, 30% changeup, so Tarek Skubal not showing the full arsenal just yet. That's all he's thrown. 2-1. This is up the middle, off Tarek. He will get the out at second because Salvi didn't run. So it'll be Grossman at first. It'll be runners at first and third with 2 outs. Exactly where the Tigers were in the first inning. So Tarek Skubal caught this off the part of his glove, and they're going to make sure now with Chris Fetter and AJ Hinch, they're going to come out of the mound to make sure that Tarek Skubal's okay. So he got the out at second where he threw over for McKinstry to get Perez. But they're going to immediately check on Tarek Skubal, try to catch that one in his glove and rocked it right off his hand. But he was smart enough to get the out at second. No glove, as I just rocketed right back through the middle of the infield. So Robbie's safe at first. Salvi's out at second. Tommy Pham is at third. As Yuli Gurriel, definitely good at putting bat on ball. His numbers with Kansas City and across the 10 games, 348, 4 RBI for the 40-year-old. So expect him to put the bat on ball. Not a lot of power in Yuli's bat, but bat-to-ball skills at this point could give the Royals a 1-0 lead should he come through. 0-0. 86 gets the friendly call low on a changeup, and that will make some of the crowd moan here at Kauffman. 3 for 6 in this series. He has been excellent with 500 bat. He's got a very interesting leaning over batting stance with the bat over his head, as this one is dive bombed down low at 88. John Hunter with you on the local assignment of the Tigers and the Royals. I have to do this considering where the Tigers are in the AL wild card. Just 1.5 back entering today. This is a critical series against the Royals, trying to get all 3 games. They're ace on the mound. 1-1. Skubal, and he gives up another base hit. Yuli Gurriel comes through, and the Royals have the early lead. 3 singles spell disaster here in the first. It's only 1 run, but 96 up toward the kitchen, and Gurriel will steamroll this thing past Jace Young at third, and the Royals draw first blood against the Tigers. So just fastball changeup right now, early through Tarek. And you're going to have to start mixing this up a little bit because Hunter Renfroe can be dangerous. He's a very good defensive right fielder. 235 average, but he does have some pop in this bat. 90 on a slider. So the first different pitch that he's thrown other than the fastball changeup. Now in his 16th pitch of the day, but the Royals have the early lead. Tigers had the bases loaded. They did not score. The Royals have come through. 97. Ball straight back and hooks the screen. So four-seam change, sinker, slide, knuckle, curve has been the arsenal, but it's primarily been four-seam and change in this first, with the exception of 1 slider. 1-1. 97, way down low. The Kansas City Royals and Matt Quinchero have loaded the lineup with all righties and 1 switch bat to get the premium advantage over an AL Cy Young candidate. Pitch number 19, changeup, and Tarek Skubal might load the bases. That is not what you want to hear if you're a Tigers fan, as they're trying to make Skubal work early here. 3 singles, scored a run. Yuli Gurriel has given the Royals the lead. 3-1 pitch. What are they going to do with Renfroe here? 97, popped up. Who wants it? Torkelson camping underneath. The Royals score 1, so they have the lead, but it could have been a lot worse. We'll go to the second. 1-0, KC.
We've engineered a speed network so you can upgrade your speed and do everything you need to do, like marketing, video chatting, streaming, and slaying zombies, all in the name of science. I've never been to a seance. Switch to fast, reliable Xfinity Internet for just $30 a month with Wi-Fi equipment, and ask how to get free 5G phone with Xfinity.
I gotta turn this down here for the YouTube copyrights. Blah blah. Okay, there we go. And anytime you play music here on this side, it always does that, even if it's on the TV. So we'll give you the scoring update. I'll throw this in the YouTube box anytime someone does join in late. Again, I humbly appreciate you guys bouncing in and out. 3 singles from KC, Pham, Perez, and Gurriel. It gives KC the 1-0 lead as we end the first. I don't know if I can actually edit comments in here because I didn't mean to do the incorrect spelling. Okay, so I can't edit that. So head to the second. Okay. So Jace Young, I guess Cole Keith hurt himself during the warm-up and he took himself out of the game, so they brought in Zach McKinstry. That's why he's in the lineup today. So Zach McKinstry gets an opportunity, 7, 8, 9. Cole Keith, again, I was not aware of this. I showed everybody on the YouTube side, but for the official recording prosperity during the warm-up side, Cole Keith, I think, tweaked something, so he took himself out of the game. And they brought in Zach McKinstry. So 7, 8, 9 will be McKinstry, Sweeney, and Rogers. We've kind of seen that bottom portion of the Tigers lineup, but they've mixed 1 through 6 with the utmost variety. As Brandon Marsh, 31 pitches into his day, McKinstry, it's a 2-0 count. 93 way outside. 3-0. I'd have to imagine this is going to be an obligatory take here for Zach. 4 home runs, 22 RBI. 224 average. He's a stolen base threat. He has not been picked off in this game, in this season, I should say. For McKinstry, 16 of 16 on the stolen base as he draws the walk. All 4 pitches were outside the zone. And Trace Sweeney, batting 8th, his 28th career game, 224 as well, alongside Zach McKinstry with 4 home runs, 13 RBI. I do think there is untapped power potential in Trace Sweeney's bat. He does have some good defense. 80, that one split the plate on a curveball. That had hit me all over it. See if he throws that one again. I would imagine not. That's 34 pitches into Marsh's day. He got away from the bases loaded. Tigers did not score. They've given up 1. This is fouled straight back in amongst the umpire. And let me check the MLB RotoWire side of the lines. Again, you have 3 at Camden, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tigers get the off day Thursday, and they get an off day Monday before they go back to Comerica for Tampa and Chicago White Sox in 2 3-game series. Calling balls and strikes is Chris Siegel. This one will go all the way back and amongst a wild pitch on a curveball, and Zach McKinstry will get to second base. Salvi really didn't have a chance to block that ball, and the Tigers have more runners in scoring position, this time with no outs in the top of the second and 1-2 count against Trey Sweeney. So the curveball, this one spiked in the dirt. It was near the back foot of Sweeney. Sweeney did not try to get out of the way. Salvi, I don't think, had a chance to ever block that ball. And Zach is sitting at second base. Tigers trying to come through. It's going to have to be the bottom of the order. Trey Sweeney, 1-2, and man, oh man, he went way outside of the zone to swing on a fastball. That's a miserable swing there, but Marsh will take it, and it's 1 out in the top of the second with a runner at second. So Jake Rogers will be the last hope in the bottom of the order before we switch back over. Just 194 on his average. 10 home runs. You mentioned his power's been down. That is a gorgeous sinker. That had some two-seam swing back to it. 0-1 as that was inside in the right portion of the box. Minnesota still up 2-1 as we're watching that scoreline if you're a Tigers fan. A 1-1 count against Jake. 87 on a slider that caught a lot of the plate, and Jake was out in front of it. All he could do was follow it back. 1 for 3 in the series. Base hit could score McKinstry. He runs pretty well. See how deep it'll go. Again for Marsh. He's trying to get through this right now with runners in scoring position again for Detroit. Alec Marsh 8-8 so far. 452, 123 on the season for WHIP and ERA. 94 does not get the call. That was well outside on a fastball. Nothing wrong with the velocity here for Marsh. He goes between 94 and 83. He's topped at 95 a few times. It's the hardest he's thrown all year. 1-2. Way high on a fastball. So any fastballs that have been high have been intentional misses, I think, called from Salvi behind the plate. 20 balls, 20 strikes, 50% ratio. Again, you like the easy math because I'm a journalism major. 2-2. Top second here. Tigers trying to even this game up at 1. Jake Rogers, an excuse me swing. He does not run well enough to, but they throw it away. Jake Rogers does the tumbleweed. Tigers score. That should have been an easy out at first, and it did not turn out to be. Jake Rogers, he got called a couple times trying to do the swan bomb at third base, trying to go ahead and run all the way over. This should have been very easy at first. It was anything but. The Tigers will take it. It was an excuse me swing for Jake. He got contact. They throw it over to Yurley Gurriel, and all of a sudden, he was falling all over himself like there was a banana peel at first. But Jake Rogers is safe. Everybody's safe. Tigers score the run. Zach McKinstry goes from second to home, and it is tied at 1. There was no chance for Gurriel. That was a very wild throw. So Salvi couldn't block the ball. Now they're making sure that Jake's okay. They made sure that Tarek Skubal was okay in the bottom of the first, so no worse for wear. Tigers score the run. Still just 1 out, top second. That is as bizarre as it gets. The Tigers will absolutely take it, and at least they tied the game up. They're continuing to make Marsh work. but Salvi couldn't block that ball. And then Marsh tried to throw it over to Gurriel, and that was absolutely sailed. So Tigers score. It's 1-1 inside on a curveball to Parker Meadows. That seemed very fortunate. That should have been an easy out at first base, but the Tigers will take it. So curveball in. Parker Meadows doesn't offer. 1-0 against Parker. Again, when it gets late in the game, that's when he activates. This is sent, and this is bobbled past Bobby Witt. My goodness. And the Tigers have runners at first and second. Some very poor defense going on here with the Royals. And the Tigers get lucky again. Parker Meadows, a little can of corn right to Bobby Witt. And I guess he tries to glove it underhand. He cannot get a piece of it, try to turn that double play. I'm not going to say nonchalant, but I think he really should have been able to get at least one out. So Tigers probably should be out of this inning. And it's 1-1. Runners are first and second. Now Kerry Carpenter, big swing on a sweeper, does not find it. Kerry Carpenter was hit by a pitch last time up. 1-1 is the score. 0-1 is the count. John Under with you at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Tigers get a little bit of luck here. Top second, putting the ball in play way high on a four seam. Again, they're going to show Jake Rogers. His head's all the way done. He's rumbling down to first. Never stopped running. He gets swiped a little bit. And he takes a heavy hit. He's safe at first. He gets to second because Parker Meadows and Bobby Witt can't make the play. This one is blocked by Selby. Makes me wonder why they didn't throw Freddie Fermin into the lineup right now, because you think the Royals could already be out of this with the better defense behind the plate. 2-1 count leverage for Kerry. What's he going to do here for Marsh? Inside fastball. This jams him. No problem near right field. That's where Renfro is. And Carpenter's turned away. They got up into his kitchen with a fastball there. And for the Tigers, unless they can extend it, the last hope will be Wencel Perez batting third in the Tigers order. Second time through, Tigers have tied it up. A couple miscues from the Royals here in the top of this second. Wencel Perez 1-for-1 with a single. His single could score. Jake Rogers does not run that well, but he did able to beat anything out at first. Got a little wild. Slider on the inside part, back foot. Make it 0-1 against Wencel Perez. Marsh will go 50 pitches essentially through the first two innings. 94. This will be straight back and amongst the screen. 0-2. Projected starters for Detroit. I think Reese Olson will get going here on Saturday from when they showed it. Again, they should say really Friday, not Saturdays. But I digress. 94 high. 2-1 is still the score. Minnesota up 2-1 against Cleveland in the bottom six. We'll keep that in the back of our minds. 1-1 is the score here at Kauffman. Tigers have just tied this one up in the top second. 1-2 for Wencel Perez against Marsh. 84, way high on a curveball. He's not been able to dot Marsh right now, but he's been able to stay out of the danger part of the zone. But he's throwing a lot of pitches right now. 52 pitches. It's still an inning and 2/3 essentially. 87, see you later. He was looking at a sweeper. Should have swung at it. Marsh able to limit the damage. Only gives up one. Tigers could have scored 4 or 5 already. Let's go to bottom 2. It's tied at 1. I'll give you the update for those that are joining in on the comment box.
Straight Zone Technologies presented by GMC. We are professional grade.
I think that's kind of when ego comes into play. You start letting people, media, create narratives of who you are, or what you're trying to achieve, or what caliber player you are. I've never.
Going to take a look at the box and see what they throw against Kansas City. There's got to be at least one error. So Tarek Skubal back on the mound. So it is 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors for Kansas City. As Garcia now up against it, 0-2 against Tarek Skubal. Tigers 1 run, 2 hits. As we're in the bottom of the second, John here with you on the official call. Markel Garcia, 96 sent straight back. So a couple errors give the Tigers at least a tie. They score 1 in the top of the second. But they've had a lot of ducks left on the pond, just like yesterday so far. And we're only just really starting this game. 97, my goodness. Garcia would have needed a ladder to get to that fastball. And Skubal able to get an easy punch out at 97. Not even close. Paul DeYoung and Garrett Hampson will finish off the bottom of the order from that Contreras squad. 232 for Paul DeYoung. 24 home runs, 56 RBI. Definitely a power threat, definitely a strikeout threat as well for Skubal. 151, 96 as they try to jump that fastball. But this will go back in amongst the catching part of the screen. 0-1. And for those fans that are lucky behind home plate to be able to watch this one. 0-1 pitch. DeYoung, 96 again. These misses are way high, might be purpose for Skubal. You don't normally see him miss that high. As it's it should be 1-1 on the Bally bar. Now 2-1, 88 as this one is spiked in a changeup. Again for Tarek Skubal, we'll give you his news and notes. 16-4, 250. The ERA's gone up now. 0.94 whip. This is 86 on a changeup. That's split the plate. He didn't find it. 33 walks, 214 strikeouts. Skubal's got a 4-seam changeup, sinker, slide, knuckle curve, and he goes in between 97 to 78 miles an hour. Tigers were not able to get a victory in his last couple of starts. He had to settle for no decision. Skubal's been very good. He hasn't had a lot of run support, and that has been the early moniker in today's game. 2-2, 87 on a changeup. That one just outside. Make it a full count. Glad that that's called correctly. You want to be fair on both sides. I know fans will go one way. I know I could go one way, but you got to earn those strikes. And 97, you earn that swing and a miss. 97 right on the outside black. And that got a couple of punchies here for Skubal to start this bottom of the second against KC. So Garrett Hampson got a lot of speed. His 106 games, 230 average, 15 RBI, 12 walks. He's not a home run threat. He can strike out. 97. That dotted on the low part of the belt outside black. As Skubal really starting to find his location here now on these last few pitches. 97 up toward the kitchen. It was too close to take. It is now 0-2. Skubal trying to make mincemeat and strike out the side in the bottom of the Kansas City order. This will make you feel good to have him settle in a little bit. Tigers can settle in on their offense. They can be smooth sailing tonight. Who knows? 0-2. 98 on a sinker that was busted inside. Good back away there for Hampson. Still trying to stay alive for Tommy Pham as the Royals will try to get through their order. Kick at the dirt a little bit for Tarek Skubal as he gets his foot setting in the cleats. 1-2. Hit the sign from Rogers. Dive bomb on a changeup. Make it 2-2 as Hampson tries to work his way back into the count. 2 votes on the YouTube question. I said, is Tarek Skubal going to have the Tigers get the sweep over the Royals tonight? Both of you say yes. This is hit pretty well. Foul. Just shy of the left part of the chalk line. as he turned in on a fastball, did Hampson. Terry Scuba with a little side shake to his head before he digs back in here. 2-2 still count. Roxon delivers at 99, the fastest pitch on the radar gun today. It's full count. Again, Garrett Hampson only has 7 stolen bases on the year, but he's got more speed than that. 3-2 pitch. And Scooble throws it right into the zone. Top left of the box. That is dotted and does not get the call. So he kind of grits his teeth. I don't blame him there. It is right there on the top left portion of the box. Just a dot at 98. That is in the zone. No call. And now Tommy Pham has an opportunity. Hope the Tigers don't give up something from this. Jake Rogers does swarm at this in the dirt. It will brush Garrett Hampson back. First walk in last 105 batters faced. Snaps the longest streak of his career, and that streak should honestly still be going. But it's up to Tarek right now to start a new one and make sure Tommy Pham doesn't get his second single with a ball game. Sometimes you get a call. It is baseball. 1-0. No problem for Sweeney. Soft toss over McKinstry, and no harm, no foul on that walker. It was called incorrectly. Let's end the second. This game is tied at 1. So we're still at the same score line, 1-1, as we head to the third inning. I'm just getting through a couple of these commercial breaks. Thank you guys for joining me in and listening in, wherever you are. Again, you got Dan Dickerson and Bally Skills on the radio side. If you open up the MLB app, you don't have to listen to me, but if you take any comments, I'll be happy to listen to those out loud and get your thoughts. As they're showing a wild card hunt graphic on Bally Sports Detroit, and they're showing the Tigers against Boston and Seattle. Now they're trying to hunt the Twins, and they show the Tiger head just a game and a half back of the Twins. They've been on the prowl. It seems like they might catch the Red Sox in the M's. Who knows? They already have. See if they can keep it. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to Riley Green as we get back into the live play-by-play. 4, 5, and 6. Riley, big swing, and this one's not coming back. Tigers take the lead. Riley Green tees off on one, and it gets his 24th home run. 427 feet. That was absolutely killed. So Riley Green puts one into the seats, and the Tigers take the lead. A fastball that is center cut at 93. Didn't have a whole lot of steam behind it, and Riley Green just destroyed that pitch toward right field. Now trying to launch back the other way. Spencer Torkelson and Green, they've been Mud Hens for a while. They've been Tigers for a while. Trying to go back to back as Green has the pizza. Tigers have the lead. Torkelson walked in his last at bat. That is what you want to see more for Torque. You don't want him to get too big and hit that back at the box. For Riley Green, a little bit more selective in his pitches. 1-1 against Torque. 95. This one not called. That was close. Again, that was called fairly considering what happened to Scooble when he was right on the black. Marsh, 2-1 pitch. Selvey gives the sign, 3-1. Back-to-back walks here for Torkelson. Be pretty good to start this game. Tigers fans would love to see that. Jace Young would be next. The base paths are empty as Green gets a solo tank. Tigers have the lead now, 2-1. 3-1 pitch, not close. Torque has the eye. Takes his second walk of the game. Good work there for Spencer Torkelson. That's what you want to see. And now the Kansas City Royals might already be making that call to that bullpen. Again, just plus 1.5 wild card for the Royals. If they get swept against the Tigers, that does not look good for them. Cleveland has tied it up against Minnesota. It is 2-2, bottom 7, very pertinent for Detroit. Again, the Tigers just a game and a half out. The Royals just a game and a half up in the wild card side. So this could really hurt the Royals. This could really hurt the Twins. This would give more life, breathe more oxygen in for the Mariners. Mariners are a little bit up against it, but Minnesota and KC own the tiebreaker against Detroit. So again, as we said going into it, what that means is that Detroit needs to be a full game ahead once 162 is done, and then they'll get into the postseason. Can't have any ties. 2-1 is the score. Riley Green just a go-ahead solo home run. 83, not close on a curveball. Inside against Chase. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Daniel Lynch the fourth. The lefty starting to warm up here for Detroit. Now, the Tigers have some bats that they could use when it gets late in the game. I don't know if Cole Keith is going to bat. He had to take himself out of the game. He tweaked something a little bit as Jace Young offers it a slider, not close on the inside. So I think Cole Keith is going to be okay. They'll use the off day and then have him ready to go on Friday, I would imagine, AJ Hinch. But Matt Vierling is on the bench today, so is Andy Ibanez. 94, diving play off Witt's glove. That would have been tremendous if he would have made it. But that was hit right back up the box. So Jace Young with a solid single as they get the first two on here. First three on, I should say, after Riley Green's home run against Marsh. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this portion of my box in notes so I don't repeat myself for Zach McKinstry because he's already in the lineup. So McKinstry, 7. He's taken place of Colt Keith. That's why they moved the lineup a little bit earlier before this game started. This is right down the middle. This is caught, though. My goodness, Tommy Pham had to take that one step for step. McKinstry gave it a good ride. That could have went toward the wall on left and would have bounced, but Tommy Pham made a really good play. Josh Naylor went up-o, and he threw the bat as he steamrolled that thing past Bailey Ober. It's tied the Guardians 2-2. Almost was the same time as the home run, Mickey York says, with Riley Green. I love that bat toss there for Naylor. He wanted all the smoke. 85, Sweeney. This one grounded, softly fouled on the third base line, and we'll do it again. Trey Sweeney, 0 for 1 in his day so far. Tigers have just taken the lead. Riley Green hit the go-ahead home run in this top of the third, and then Josh Naylor ties it for the Guardians pretty much in the same breath. This is hit very hard by Sweeney, now fouled on the first base line. Go from right to left here for the Tigers, and this young bat trying to find his way through the lineup, just get some games. He's been a long-time prospect of the LA Dodgers. He was kind of put toward the bottom, not because he wasn't very good, there just wasn't any room for him. So when you make the trade for Jack Flaherty to send that over, you get Trey Sweeney, who seems to be a pretty good defensive prospect. Sweeney, is this fair? Down the first baseline! Tigers going to score another run! Trey Sweeney comes through. Throw to the plate. Safe again! The Tigers score 2! 4-1. The Tigers take the lead again, and they add to it. 3 runs in this third, and the Tigers are going to try to blow it open against Marsh before they can get Lynch out through the bullpen. This is just fair on the first baseline past a diving Yuli Gurriel and send the forces from second all the way around a third, and the throw at the plate. Perez try to get it down, and the slide. Jace Young gets himself safe, and they call that one in real time, trying to make sure the tag is not applied. I don't think it was. Tigers score 3 in this third inning, and they take a 4-1 lead. Jake Rogers trying to get the extra run here at third. Half-hearted offer. I think he held the bat back. So it'll be 1-1. What a slide for Jace Young. You look like he was doing one of those water slipping slides. He lost it all. He got his left cleat into the base path before Salvador Perez could apply the tag. Big cut for Rogers. Does not find it. 1-2. Tigers score 3 in this third, and they're trying to add on more with 1 out and a runner at third. This would be huge if the Tigers could get the sweep on KC, because at least it drags them down. They still need help from the Twins, but this can drag the Royals down. Again, the Royals and the Twins both have the tiebreaker over Detroit, but all you can do is continue to win. 2-2. Marsh, 72 pitches into his day. He's had to work very hard. Rogers, again, keeps the bat back. He does not offer at the slider. Full count. 3-2. They'll bring it back up to Parker Meadows, no matter what happens with Rogers. 3-2 pitch. Marsh just trying to get through the third. 94. Rogers punches out. That was a really good located fastball on the high outside corner. Parker Meadows trying to make sure he gets an extra run. Again, we talked about in the first, the Tigers had left a lot of runners on the base paths. It looks like they're going to go ahead and go lefty-lefty here against Parker Meadows. And that is by design. So Tigers do the damage. The top of the third is not done just yet. Mike Quatrero makes the call of the bullpen. They're going to bring on the lefty and Lynch to take on Parker Meadows. We'll come right back. Excuse my excitement a little bit because it's in the middle of the playoff chase. Tigers come through in a big way, but they're not done here so far. In this third. So called the bullpen for the Royals, but the top of the third and 2 outs, it's not done yet. Tigers already scored 3. They're trying to get one more. They're going to go lefty-lefty here. Daniel Lynch against Parker Meadows. They're not really going to take Parker Meadows out, especially this early in the game. So Marsh's line is not done yet, but we'll get this one here. 2 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. 5 strikeouts for Marsh, so nothing wrong. Call the bullpen. It's Lynch. This one hopped up. Parker Meadows runs well. Lynch does beat Parker to the bag, but the Tigers do some heavy damage, leading off with Riley Green's solo shot and a 2-run double. What a slide for Jace Young as Trace Sweeney brings in 2. We go bottom 3 Tigers. Take a 4-1 lead. So Marsh's line is done for KC. 2 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Daniel Lynch, the 4th, is going to come in. And Jason Minetti has thrown it across. And KC's bullpen's been giving it up a little bit too down the stretch, although the starter got lit up today. But Daniel Lynch is going to have to eat some innings, all the more it sounds like. So with Tarek Skubal on the mound, if we can get a solid 7, kind of work his way through, the Royals would only be essentially like 2 games and the wild card portion up on the Tigers. That could be a good development. The Twins and Guardians, that's still tied at 2, top 8. The Twins are at the bat rack with a runner at second and 2 outs. We'll see if they'll come through. We will give you updates across as this continues. Right now, the only thing the Tigers can do is win. If anyone else behind them falls apart, well, that's what it's going to have to take. Tigers continue to win, they'll be in good shape. Again, in these first 6 games here on the road, Tigers can go 4-2. They probably put themselves in the driver's seat to make a run in the final 6 games at Comerica and between the Rays and the White Sox. If they started now and they sweep the Royals, they'd be 3-0 in the first 6 games. And all they'd have to do is at least win 1 and not get swept at Camden Yards. If they can go 5-1, I mean, you're really opening the door there for the Tigers to do some ultimate damage to maybe even get in. So 0-1, slider. Tarek Skubal trying to get ahead of Bobby Witt. Skubal's finally got some run support. It's been a while since he's really had that over his last couple starts. Couple no decisions for him. Although he is the Tigers ace, and it's not just because he's a Tigers ace. He's one of the best pitchers in the American League. And he's got some run support. And Kansas City Royals trying to avoid the sweep against the Tigers. Bobby Witt, 91. Good cut on a changeup, able to fight the bottom of the bat head at 91, stay alive. Bobby Witt's bat stays in the zone an awful long time. Just an exceptional player. Already at the 30-30 marker for home runs and stolen bases. 99, running toward the kitchen, and the bat is quick enough to go back. So 91 on the changeup, 99 on the fastball. It'll be Salvador Perez and Robbie Grossman at least in the bottom of this third as the Tigers really did damage in that 3rd inning. 0-2. 98 on a fastball, way outside, took Jake out of the crouch. So Tigers have left runners on the base paths. In the 1st and 2nd inning, they could only score a run to the first 6 outs. And you didn't know if that was going to bite them real bad. And then Kansas City had an opportunity in that first against Tarek Skubal. They didn't come through. So Tigers now have a 3-run lead. You feel good where you are considering who's on the mound, but you can't take anything for granted. 1-2. 98, and Bobby Witt is doing a hell of a job to stay alive right now. A variety of fastballs, changeups, all different portions of the zone, and he's just fighting through this bat right now to get more pitches off Tarek Skubal to make sure to get him out of the game a little earlier. The 24-year-old is a superstar. You can say that, and no one's going to blush or bat an eye. 1-2. 93 buckled him on a slider. Just trying to change the eye level here for Bobby Witt. I don't blame Tarek there for going inside. Slider couple change, 4 straight fastballs, and then another slider, as this is pitch number 9 in the sequence. Want to throw out the knuckle curve, question mark? 2-2. Struck him out at 100! Tarek Skubal got Bobby Witt reaching, and he went extra. He reached back for that one to get the punch out as Bobby Witt struck up for a 2nd time. Man, oh man, 100 miles an hour, a vapor trail for Tarek Skubal. See you later against Bobby Witt. Salvi now. It's going to set to dig back in. 90 on a changeup. He went golfing. Not close. Solid single for Salvi. You had Gurriel, Salvi, and Pham with singles that had scored the opening run for the Royals in the first. 99 late on a fastball. He's got Salvador Perez all set up here, and he's starting to cook. That's what Jason Benetti's saying right now. Although Scooble's throwing a lot of pitches here, so that is good right now for Kansas City. Try to make sure he gets out of the game in the sixth. I would think at worst. 0-2. Count against Salvi. He already punched out Bobby Witt. He reaches right to Scooble. Soft toss to Spencer Torkelson. No problem. 2 up, 2 down. Bottom 3. As they're showing the sound designer, Jake Rogers. He's the one calling it behind the plate. That's what the catchers do. They want to make sure you start it with the fastball changeup. You mix everything in as you go across. Make sure you keep the hitters off balance. Start to ramp up your velocity a little bit. And you set that music line and across. And you make sweet music there for Terry Scooble. And you got that commander behind the dish and Jake Rogers. It's what your catchers do. And that's what they profiled. 78. Wow. It was the first time he broke up the knuckle curve. That one just outside, but I guess it was close enough. And Grossman up against it now 0-1. That was a gorgeous pitch. And now 90 dotted on a changeup. Didn't have to hold it in the zone there because it was the second strike. And now Robbie Grossman. 0-2. The former Tiger, White Sox, Oakland Athletic. He's been around a little bit everywhere. Robbie's a professional hitter, but Derek Scooble is a bear. 98. This one will go all the way back. 9-0. The Mets are clobbering the Washington Nationals. They're trying to keep their spot in the NL wild card. We're watching some AL wild card action tonight. 0-2. Scooble way high on a fastball at 99. Starting to ramp up on the fastball here. Derek Scooble has already hit 100 in this bottom of the third. Trying to make sure the Kansas City Royals go quietly. So we're going to work our way toward the middle innings. 1-2. 98. Toward the kitchen. Tarek Scooble tossed to Torkelson. And Tarek Scooble, that was masterful. And that bottom third, that was automatically dominant. And they show that picture again with Jake Rogers. He's the one setting up the music in the metronome. They were in good sync there with Scooble there. Let's go to the fourth. Tigers lead 4-1. Give you this update in the comments section here again. Humbly appreciate you guys joining in on the YouTube side. I'm beyond excited. Again, you know me from the hockey game calls, basketball, baseball, do a little bit of every mix in some college, some wonderful Sharks. I've been all around it here, but I've never, ever been able to. And again, I haven't called games over the last few years, but the Tigers, the Red Wings, the Pistons, the Lions, it's been a while. The only thing I don't call is football, so I guess that's the one mistake I can make. I haven't been able to call any hometown playoff, any sort of games. I would love to see the Tigers make it just to be able to call it, even if something happens to them in the wild card or it ends there. The way that they have been playing down the stretch, it's been enjoyable to watch the Tigers play baseball. It's been enjoyable to call the games. And it's a bunch of kids getting the job done. So Daniel Lynch the fourth, he got the one out in the top third, in relief of Marsh. Again, his final line for Marsh: 2 2/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. And Carpenter is going to make quick work of Kerry there, lefty on lefty crime, and Kerry Carpenter looked all sort of lost on that at bat as he reached way in the dirt for a changeup. I don't know what he was looking for, but he was never going to find it there. Let me fix this part of my box. Winsell Perez will switch sides. The switch bat here for AJ Hinch. This one spiked in the dirt. Salvi's had a tough time trying to grab a couple of these and behind the dish. Again, he's not the same defensive propensity that he used to be. He's still got a lot of power in that bat. He's a good bad ball hitter. Nothing disparaging for Salvi Perez, but his behind the catching duties here for KC, the numbers have dropped because Salvi's getting old. I mean, he's 34. He's had a lot of mileage in behind the plate. That's why they have Freddie Fermin, but he's going to get the off day. So Salvi, 1-1. Getting the sign there for Winsell Perez. And now Winsell behind it, 1-2, gets the strike call. Top 9, Minnesota at the bat rack, 2-2 against Cleveland. 97 way outside the zone, but Winsell gets the bat head to it. Still 1-2. Should Winsell reach, it'll be Riley Green again. It almost seems like they batted around. They were pretty damn close to doing so. 1-2 against Winsell Perez. Daniel Lynch would have to eat some innings. Still offered. This was a ball, but able to stick with it. And Matt Quatrero's squad is going to need Daniel Lynch, I would think, to at least go 3 or 4 maybe, considering he is mixed as a bullpen arm of high amount that can go bulk. 94, good pitch for Lynch. My goodness. Gets a couple strikeouts there, gets Carpenter reaching, and Perez got busted inside a couple times. Perez trying to look too much, an eagle eye. He's been punched out a couple times that I watched him there on the weekend side and Saturday against Baltimore. And then now on this Wednesday, you got to swing if it's close. That's the one thing I would say to the young man. Riley Green, left on left here. Riley Green went nuclear on a fastball against Marsh toward right field. That was absolutely murdered. And now 87, that same sweet-looking swing. He was out in front of a slider there, but you knew exactly what he wanted to do to it. He's providing the petroleum on these swings. You can see it in that bat. 87 spiked in the dirt. Now, Riley Green is still a professional hitter that can hit left on left. But this does open it up a little bit, though, because the Tigers have a lot of lefties in their lineup right now. Try to cultivate this for Contreras and get some easy outs. 88, 2-2. Lynch has looked really good on the bullpen relief right now. And again, you got a whole bunch of righties against Turk Skubal. So the hand in this matchup is in favor of the Royals all the way through. And the only thing right now the Tigers have is the 3-run lead if they can make this one hold up. I'll get a chance to look at Riley Green's home run again. I mean, man, oh man, what can you say? An inside fastball. Caught too much of the plate, I would say, though, at 94. That one was just annihilated. There really isn't any other word you could use. That was as clean as day for Riley Green. He just killed that ball. 2-2, trying to hang in there against Lynch. Going to go an inning and a third so far. A lot of strikeouts. He got the Tigers' side in order. All 3 strikeouts. Lynch doing some work. Good credit to the young man as we go bottom 4. Tigers still up 4-1. So you want to push and pull that lever a little bit. I threw this in my notes as far as Kansas City bench boss Matt Cotrero. They're going to have the handedness matchup through the rest of this middle innings because Daniel Lynch, you figure he's going to go his way through. He just struck out the side between Carpenter, Perez, and Green, but all righties in one switch in against Tarek Skubal, as we talked about on the mound open. And now all lefties essentially in that Tigers lineup against the lefty Daniel Lynch. We'll see if Kansas City can cruise through these middle innings. This could be very important for the Royals.
And Tarek Skubal had a conversation with Tarek Skubal after the first inning and said, you know, blow these fastballs by these guys. You see him spotted up on the first two, then rearing back, getting a hundo. See.
Let's get back into the play-by-play with Yulesky Gurriel. Again, four-seam changeup, sinker, slider, curve. It's been primarily fastball changeup, about almost 80% for Tarek, so maybe even a little bit over. So primarily two-pitch pitcher here. He's got a 4-1 lead in this game nonetheless. He throws about 5 or 6 different ones for Skubal. 98. So he's not messing around as far as what he's featuring here. Yulesky Gurriel was one of those ones that got a single for the Royals in the first alongside Pham and Salvador Perez to get the first run of the game. It's been 4 straight since for the Tigres. 89. Soft serve Torkelson. Try to give it a look. He makes the catch just shy of the railing. And it's 1 up, 1 down in the bottom 4 to leave it up to Hunter Renfroe here for the KC Royals. Royals trying to avoid the sweep against the Tigers right now because at worst case, if the Minnesota Twins win this one against the Guardians, and would it still push the Royals back down to earth a little more where the Tigers could possibly catch them? But both Minnesota and KC have the tiebreaker. Again, I got to mention that whenever I can. Let's give you a scoring update. It's Guardians bats bottom 9. We're tied at 2. They have a chance to win in a walk-off against the Twins. So we will keep that in mind. That would be absolutely huge. If Cleveland wins and the Tigers win, they're a half game out. 2-0 against Renfroe. Skubal delivers from Rogers. 99. Nothing wrong with the velocity here for Tarek Skubal, but the pitch count starting to get elevated. He's through 3 innings, 3 1/3, 63 pitches here for the Tigers ace, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. 2-1. Did he offer at it? Yes, he did. Fastball 99. Tried to hold back. He just split the plate high. As there are a lot of Royals fans, as you imagine, at Kauffman Stadium. We're watching this one behind the plate. A good view in the catcher's side. I would definitely love to catch a game of Kauffman. But you might want to jump into that waterfall. It's pretty hot and humid over there right now, about 86 degrees. 2-2. 99 again for Tarek on the outside black. No mistake about where he's throwing it here. He's just challenging Renfroe with the heat and see if he can hit it. As he'll grab the rosin bag. Got a good sweat on this Tarek right now. I imagine everybody does right now. But the Fanatics jerseys, a little bit less design. 2-2. Sweeney, stab. Make the toss over to Torque. 2 up, 2 down, bottom 4. So we'll see what happens in the final out potentially in this 4th. Markel Garcia, as you look at Andy Dirks and Jason Benetti on the local side. I am monitoring the bottom of the 9th between Minnesota and Cleveland. 2-2 tie. Garcia swings and misses on a gorgeous knuckle curve from Skubal. Had him all sorts of messed up timing-wise. He goes way out in front of it. Make it 0-1. We're talking about Space Mountain right now. I went there once in Disney World when I was a teenager. I don't know why they're doing that, but I guess you love the ride. You're going to go back and forth like a roller coaster. We found the Tigers, but they've been going up and up and up right now. And we're trying to see if there's going to be a downfall, if they're going to go all the way to the playoffs. It's been one way and one way only right now for Detroit. 0-2. Dive bomb into the dirt on the changeup. Make it 1-2. Should Garcia reach, it'll be Paul DeYoung to continue the bottom 4. But it's been a fast-moving game right now. Pitch clock down to 5. When we get the camera cut, I'll tell you what's happening. 98. as this one goes straight back.
Late September, playoff chase, and the place is let's go Tiger. Now that's true. The hair on the back of the neck. You don't shave the hair on the back of your neck in the playoff run, so that way when it stands up, you can really feel it.
So pitch clock back down to 5. They've been profiling Dirksen Benetti for a long time, so I've had to wait. Half hold. They said he went. So Garcia punches out. Before I check out here, just to take a small break, it'll be the Twins and Guardians. It is 2 outs for Cleveland. Maybe going to extras. I'll give you an update. We come right back.
This is the GMC Sierra. Powered by the turbines engine. With the confidence of 430-pound feet connected by standard torque. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Just to notice for Michigan residents, $1,000 is cash. GM employee program participants with their current eligible GMC lease. Use it to get this low mileage lease in the Sierra Elevation for $250 a month. Did you get pepperoni? I want a cotton sauce. It better be bacon pizza. Brothers, it's a 3-meat treat. It's got all those delicious toppings. Come on. Bacon, pepperoni, Italian sausage, a St. 5 kilo slice. I'm a dog. The kids love that 3-meat treat. Only your 3-meat treat for $8.99. It's all day, baby. Little Caesar pizza pizza. Chevrolet's strongest player, Spencer Torkelson's walked twice in the division last July. Spencer took Daniel Lynch deeper a couple of times here at the Big K. Once in the waterfall thereabouts. And this one into Yale bullpen.
Thank you for joining me back. Instead of take a quick break, let's give you a scoring update before we get back into our featured game. The Guardians and Twins are going to extras, tied at 2. Again, the Guardians will have last at bats. Be a good opportunity if the Twins don't come through. The Guardians might win that one in the 10th. So I will keep you updated because it is big proponents for the Red Sox, the Mariners, the Tigers, everybody in that wild card hunt. Spencer Torkelson's been pretty good tonight. Couple walks and a run scored. He's not gotten away from his approach, and that is what you want to see moving forward. Daniel Lynch has been very good in relief right now for Kansas City. Has a changeup, 1 and 2, just does graze the outside corner. Spencer Torkelson, one of the few righties in the lineup right now, and now you already have AJ Hinch going to his bench bats. They want to try to even that up a little bit just to make sure that Daniel Lynch doesn't carve it up because you want to keep the score line at least where it is, if not add to it. 2-2. And now Spencer Torkelson, after a couple walks, this was a fastball that wasn't close. This time he got too big. 1 up, 1 down, top 5. So for Kansas City, they opened the scoring in this game, 3 straight singles. They scored bottom 1. Tigers tied it up in the second, and then they got big damage in the third. They scored 3. Andy Ibanez on a changeup, first pitch, and he's going to be out. Salvador Perez right underneath it. Tigers might get turned away quickly here, top 5. And that bench bat there for Jace Young. So they burn that today as far as third base, and they'll probably move McKinstry to third and Ibanez to second, where they're more comfortable. We'll see what they want to do if they want to make a defensive adjustment. So 1 pitch, that's not what you want to see there for AJ. He kept his look the same, probably because his team's up by 3 runs. As 87 on a slider is low and outside against McKinstry. Trey Sweeney had the big blow in this game so far, a 2 RBI double to counter with Riley Green's solo shot in the third, and that's why the score is 4-1 for the Tigers. They're at Kaufman in Kansas City, Missouri. They're trying to get the sweep against KC and at least pull them down if they can't pull the Twins down. Big cut for McKinstry. Could not find a sinker. That's a gorgeous pitch. Lynch has pitched excellently for Kansas City right out of the bullpen right now in long relief. Maybe he should have started. He's been dotting. 87 on a slider is outside corner low. 2-2. He has been just incredible right now for Kansas City. Trying to keep it right where it is. Inside pitch, right to Gurriel. Steps on the bag. Tigers go quietly in the top 5. It's still 4-1.
She has a reason for running.
We are helping big families out of debt by telling billionaires to pay their fair share.
And so does he. Kamala Harris, for you. FF Max is responsible for the content of this ad.
Grab a granola bar here real quick, protein bar. I need to get something in the stomach because I am running out of energy here before I clean up to the store and go eat some dinner.
Prime Day Deal Days is coming October 8th and 9th with exclusive savings just for Prime members. It'll feel like a big deal. Shop deals on electronics, fashion, and more this Prime Day Deal Days, October 8th and 9th.
Tarek Skubal for the 2024 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One.
They're showing this pretty cool on this side of Bally Sports Detroit. Tarek Skubal is the Roberto Clemente possible award recipient for the Detroit Tigers. Paul DeYoung, Garrett Hampson, and Tommy Pham, 891, will be due up here for Kansas City as we get toward the 5th. I hope Jake Rogers didn't pull something back there trying to spike that one. India Bunny is in 2nd, and Zach McKinstry will go to 3rd. Give you a live update here as they're going to go ahead and make sure they give Jake Rogers an extra second. Twins have loaded the bases top 10. It's still 2-2. No outs. We'll let you know if anyone scores. And we'll duplicate that box. 95 is Tarek Skubal will get Paul DeYoung a little bit out in front of it. So very pertinent update. Make sure that I go ahead and put that to you live as soon as we get it. Two is the count here for Skubal against DeYoung. 97, my goodness, see you later. Late on the fastball. Tarek Skubal is in his groove. Lynch is in his groove. It is Hunter Gaddis on the mound for Cleveland against Matt Wallner. Matt Wallner 3 for 3 with a walk today as bases are loaded. 2 strikes, 3 ball, full count, no place to put him. Minnesota trying to make sure they can keep a 1.5 game over the Tigers no matter if they win. Hampson, 96, dotted on the outside black high, 0-1. 1 out. So he punched out. Hunter Gaddis got a punch out. Carlos Correa is up next for the Twins, and I'm doing 2 games here, but these are close, so I have to give you the update. So Carlos Correa is up next against Hunter Gaddis. Bases are still loaded. Double play could be in order here for the Guardians if they could turn it. Tarek Skubal, 0-2 against Hampson. His first plate appearance was a walk, should have been strike 3. This one, right to McKinstry, and he can't glove it clean. And Hampson is on base again. So last time he should have punched out. This time it was a slow roller to McKinstry. He just couldn't get a glove on it. So Garrett Hampson is a threat to steal some bases. We'll talk about that should we get to it. And I'll continue to give an update, anything across the Cleveland and Minnesota side, because it's very pertinent here. Anyone that votes no, again, if you're a Minnesota fan, I don't blame you. Or if you're a Kansas City fan. Or you just feel no in the question as far as whether or not Tarek Skubal trying to get the victory today. But that's got to be a Kansas City fan that voted no. 1-0. Tommy Pham went for 2 of the single. Hampson had second pretty much off an error for McKinstry. And now 85 on a changeup. Make it 2-0 against Tommy Pham. Let's take a look back and see if Carlos Correa came through. Right now it's 2 strikes against Correa. Hunter Gaddis trying to get to the bases loaded for Twins. Pham, 96 high. Make it 3-0. Tarek Skubal starting to lose it a little bit here after that play that should have been made. Bobby Witt Jr. is next. You get another base runner here. That could tie the game with the whole 3-run shot. So you want to stay away from that here. You got to throw strikes. 93. This one will split the plate. Obligatory take for Pham. He had to do it. Carlos Correa still waiting on a 1-2 count pitch from Hunter Gaddis as I'm looking at my update. It's top 10, 1 out. So Carlos Correa, 2-run single for the Twins. Tommy Pham back toward the track. Winsell Perez makes the catch. And Garrett Hampson's got to scurry back to first base. Tommy Pham gave it a ride, but Winsell Perez made the play just shy of the chain link fence. And I wouldn't say robbed a home run, but that was awfully close. He makes the play. The scoreline stays where it is. So that's good news for Detroit there. The bad news, Carlos Correa, 2 RBI single, top 10. Twins now up 4-2, but the Guardians will have last bats. I'll give you any more updates as they come across. We'll move a little bit later through it. I had to do that one live. So Skubal against Witt, that's a tough strike call on Bobby Witt. A long look back at the home plate umpire. We'll let you know who's calling balls and strikes. Again, Chris Siegel behind the dish. I think he's been pretty consistent. That was not a good call there, but Skubal will take it. 0-1. 98, right through the middle of the zone. That was pure vapor trail. Make it 0-2. Bobby Witt struck out a couple times here. That probably means he's due, but it is Tarek Skubal. Skubal seems like he could be emptying the tank all the way to the 6th. We're in the bottom 5th with 2 outs, and then he might be done tonight. Because the Tigers do get a much-needed off day. They get a 3-game series against the Orioles and then another off day before the final 6. 0-2 against Witt. Trying to make sure it ends right here. 99 in toward the hands. 1-2 is the count. Again, you're looking, this is flipped all the way back for Pham. That put Winsell Perez toward that chain link wall, but he made the catch. That was hit pretty well. 1-2. Inside, it got a piece of Bobby. And now Tarek Skubal, I know we didn't mean to do it, but I will bring up Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez could make this a 4-4 game in an instant. They're showing Carlos Correa's hit, bases loaded, up over the shortstop, and that scores a couple runs as they're still waiting to get to the bottom of the 10th. That means the Guardians have to score a couple more to at least get it to the 11th. That is your live update as far as I know at the moment. Salvador Perez, 88. This is a big at-bat for Perez and Skubal because one hit could give the Royals only a 1-run deficit or tie the game outright with a 3-run jam. And Perez can do it. 1-0. Way down low on a changeup, make it 2-0. And who knows, Tarek Skubal might only go 5. He's 90 pitches into his day. And these are some high leverage counts right now that he's had to go through. You never can tell. Trying to get the extra sign of the pitch comm here from Jake Rogers. Salvador Perez with runners at first and second and 2 outs, 2-0 count. Bad ball hitter at 97, and he really got a piece of the bat head on it. That one's fouled back. Brendan Hanafy Starting to get warm here for AJ Hinch's squad. Maybe go as soon as the 6th. This Tarek Skubal might empty the tank, as we said. Robbie Grossman would be next if Salvi can reach. 2-1. Tarek going to use a disengagement, step off, grab at the rubber, and clean up his hands in the rosin bag. Make sure he gets all settled here. I don't blame him. Brush him back while this slugging percentage is up and in. That's what you want. Doesn't have to be in the zone. He can chase it. 2-1. Pitch clock down to 1. Just gets it off 97. Challenged him with a fastball high end on the outside part of the box. And a big, deep breath for Skubal there, as he knows he needs one more. This is a giant at-bat for Perez and a giant pitch for Skubal. 2-2. In the dirt, 98. Runners are going to be off at the pitch. It's full count, 2 outs, runners at first and second. See what he can do here. Tarek Skubal, Witt at first, Pham, and Hampson at second. Hampson second, Witt at first. Perez. And now Skubal will go ahead. Look toward the pitch comm. I think he's buying an extra second here because that would count as a disengagement or a mound visit. 3-2. Pitch clock. Down to 5. And they're making sure now the pitch comm issue. Perez is trying to make sure, hey, I want to try to get a walk here and do what I need to do. AJ Hinch isn't too upset right now. They're going to have the manager here for Kansas City, and make sure I get that name correct again, Matt Cotero, that they want to make sure that that's okay. The timer is okay. I think Tarek Skubal might be buying himself a couple extra seconds without playing that leverage game. That's just me. I'm saying that as a Tigers fan because he knows that this is huge. Full count. Runners are first and second, 2 outs. So runners off at the pitch right now. Tigers trying to get through this. Tarek Skubal trying to get a big-time pitch against Salvador Perez. 3-2. This is at 88, followed straight back, and we stay alive. We go bottom 10 between the Twins and the Guardians with the Ghost Runner at second. Ronnie Henriquez will pitch to David Fry. Now Salvi's trying to take his extra disengagement. This is a long at-bat leverage. Still 3-2. Runners are going to be off at the pitch. Skubal strikes him out. He gets Perez, and he gets a big scream as he goes off the mound. Tigers keep it 4-1. They punch out Salvi, and that was pretty dangerous there because Bobby Witt, they brushed him on the inside with a pitch. Tarek Skubal comes through in a big way. Let's go to the 6th.
Let me ask you, you're using Head and Shoulders, right?
Always. Thanks. Then I switch back to my regular shampoo.
You should use it every wash, otherwise the flakes will come back.
He's right.
Is that Tiny Troy?
The ingredients in Head and Shoulders keep the microbes that cause flakes healthy.
Microbes, really?
They're always on your scalp. The good news, there's no itchiness, dryness, flakes down here.
I love Tiny Troy, and it's time to the stare.
Make every wash count. Never start again. Try Head and Shoulders cleanse.
Sweet, we get to go to a baseball game together. Baseball is so connected. Between us,
It's so much easier to love it and have things about it.
we're getting married at the stadium.
It was when you decided the day.
Tarek Skubal, he might have ended his day, but he did so in a big way. Punches out Salvador Perez. He keeps this scoreline 4-1 for Detroit. Let's give you another live update, live look. The Guardians, I'm still waiting for this to refresh. Right now it says 4-2 Twins. We know Carlos Correa had given the Twins the lead with a 2-run single in the 10th. Ryan Jeffers will be behind the plate for Minnesota. And Ronnie Henriquez will pitch to David Fry. That was my last update, as we're still waiting for the bottom 10 to get underway. Maybe this is why it didn't update. So let's give you another update officially as we go to our game 4-1. Tarek Skubal able to punch out Salvador Perez and keep the scoreline right where it is. I think his day's probably done. So we know the Twins had taken a 2-run single in the top 10 with Carlos Correa. It's 4-2 lead. Kyle Manzardo, RBI single, no outs, runner at second. The Guardians are now only down 4-3. The ESPN box is not updated. That is courtesy of Bally Sports Detroit. If we get some more, or once that fixes itself, I will let you know about the updates. But right now, the Guardians have runner on second. They're down by 1, and there's no outs. So a 4-3 game right now in the bottom 10. Guardians still need one more. So Daniel Lynch the fourth still out there right now, and he has been immaculate. It'll be Trey Sweeney, Jake Rogers, and then the top part of the order in Parker Meadows, 88 outside on the slider. We have been following along the roller coaster of this series between Detroit and KC, and also the roller coaster between the Twins every night. I've been into this over the last week or so. I hope you guys have been too. The wild card races and everything else have been fun, but the Tigers have been playing some good baseball. 2-1. Sweeney, that's hit pretty well. This will send the center fielder back toward the wall, and Garrett Hampson will make this on the track. He goes ahead and gets the catch. So pretty good work there alongside Trey Sweeney. So the FanDuel sing-game parlay, Tarek Skubal 6+ strikeouts. He's got 7. Winsell Perez got his hit. Parker Meadows needs 2. That one's tough in the back end of that parlay. I'm not a gambling man, but I would say that'd be a tough one to call. So Jake Rogers will be the last part of the batter before the lineup turns over again for Detroit. John here with you on the call. Thank you for joining me in the local Bally Sports Detroit feed. That is what I'm checking out today. That's my only one, being the local side. We got Jason Benetti, Andy Dirks, and then Dan Dickerson, Bobby Scales. This one past a diving Bobby Witt. He made a great effort on the stab at it, but Jake Rogers gets a solid single, and that will successfully flip the lineup over. So Jake gets a good pitch to hit, fastball over the middle of the plate. He puts that one past the diving Bobby Witt. It almost made a pretty good catch on there, just away from his glove. I know he had a throw earlier that he just couldn't pick up the baseball, but I think Bobby Witt, he got cut up a little bit and toward the dirt, but no worse for wear. Parker Meadows takes a 93-mile-an-hour sinker. I'm just begging for this ESPN box to update right now, but this is not updating in the 10th. Somebody is slacking. This is Witt. A backhand. Make the toss over, but Parker Meadows is too fast. He had to pick that one up the backhand, change hands, make the toss over. Bobby Witt could not get Parker Meadows because he's got too much speed. So he gets that one off the glove. It takes a wicked hop, and then he switches it over to the toss hand, try to get it over to Gurriel, but Parker Meadows runs too well. So runners at first and second. This is a golden opportunity for Detroit. Kerry Carpenter, lefty, and then Winsell Perez switch alongside Riley Green. So last time, Kerry Carpenter and Winsell Perez, they got punched out pretty good by Daniel Lynch. That was a very tough play for Bobby Witt to even make. He got all that he could on it. He just had to switch hands, catching that one off a backhanded bounce. And if he didn't have to do that, he would have been able to get Parker Meadows. He just runs too well. So Parker at first, Jake at second. Top 6, 1 out. I am still waiting for the Bally Sports Detroit feed to give us any updates because I'm trying to refresh like a madman on ESPN, and we are just not getting those updates as far as the score line. So I'm going to have to wait in suspense with all of you. My hope is that the Guardians have at least forced this to 11 or maybe won the game outright because the Tigers could only be a half game out if they win tonight. Big implications. Tigers need to win this game nonetheless. So instead of Kerry Carpenter, they're going to bring in Matt Vierling, pinch hit for the DH. So Vierling with a hand at his side. A couple ducks on the pond. Vierling, is he going to be able to split the gap? No, he's not. This will be a toss. Jake Rogers trying to advance. They'll be able to do that. So Jake Rogers gets an extra 90 feet. I have an update for you, ladies and gentlemen. The Cleveland Guardians have tied the game. They needed 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th. They get 2 runs. It's now 4-4. So this game's not done yet. Thank you to the Bally bar for that. Continue to bite your nails like LeBron James. I know it's a nasty habit, but we got the update we needed in Detroit land. We'll see if Cleveland can finish the job here. It still says bottom 10, so I don't think we're done just yet. So Winsell Perez, 2 outs. Runners at first and third. Jake Rogers at third. Perez, he'll let it right to wet. Soft toss over. Tigers get turned away. So they don't score in the 6th with runners at first and third, but the Cleveland Guardians do. They score twice. We'll give you another update when we come back.
Secure your tickets now at tigers.com/tickets.
So once I get the update on the Bally bar, I'll give you all an update. I've been stuck in suspense as well, frantically trying to refresh. Again, ESPN is late on their side of the updates because it's on the Bally bar. It's 4-4, and it's still in the bottom 10. I'm not sure how many outs the Guardians have, but they will give us an update once we get back from the commercial break. So stay tuned, everybody. I'm locked in. I hope the Guardians can win this one for Detroit's sake. I want to see them try to get back into this. It'll be a half game out.
Time now for our Comerica Bank game summary. Tarek Skubal, 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, a walk that was borderline anyway. And even without the ability to throw that changeup, what it seemed like based on the reaction from the hitters, he was quite nice. Great out, and whoever thinks that Tarek Skubal can't get Royals hitters out, well, there you have it. Went with the heater heavy, puts the changeup in when needed. Went with the off-speed pitch to Salvi in the biggest moment of the game so far for the Tigers. I'll turn it over to our all-side pitching change. Brennan Hanafy is on for the Tigers.
So Brennan Hanafy going to get things going here for Detroit. Tarek Scovil's final line: 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. That protein bar almost got the best of me. I still got another bite I got to get through. But just the 1 walk, that should have easily been a strikeout against Garrett Hampson. That was called incorrectly. Otherwise, he would have went there with no walks. So Robbie Grossman going to get set to lead it off for the Royals. They need some runs against this Tiger bullpen that has been pretty electric. But again, it's not Tarek Skubal here, but they've done an excellent job during this, month and a half, we can say, for Detroit to try to continue to move things forward. So 4-5-6 for Matt Quintero, Bobby Grossman, Yuli Gurriel, and Hunter Renfroe, unless they make some changes. Robbie Grossman got a fastball right down the middle, but this one is shallow center field, and Parker Meadows is underneath, camps, and makes the catch. So now the ESPN box finally updated. This is what I have for you. The Guardians, runners first and third. The double play is a variety for the Twins if they can get it. Guardians have tied it. They were down 4-2, top 10, tied it at 4. They have a chance to walk it off. Here's a long fly ball for Riley Green as this one's played in off the wall. So Brennan singled the center. Straw scored. Jimenez safe at third on a fielding error by Matt Woolner. Bo Naylor struck out swinging. And that's the latest update here. Is it's 4-4 between the Twins and the Guardians. It won't matter if the Tigers don't take care of their business, as this one is popped up for Gurriel. This will go foul again down the left field side. Would not have been a home run, and then that one straight back in amongst the catcher. Michael Tompkin on the mound. against Brian Rocchio. 0-2. The count here for Hannafy. Trying to get Gurriel as a slider will get spiked in the dirt. Tigers lead 4-1. Again, the Twins took the lead 4-2, top 10. Guardians tied it with runners at first and third. That's my latest update for you until that goes final. I'm still waiting alongside everybody else. 1-2. Pitch up high toward the dome of Gurriel. He'll back away. Make it 2-2. 1 out in the sixth in our featured game. Trying to give you all the updates that I can here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is absolutely huge. 2-2 for Hannafy against Gurriel. 95. This is a tapper. This is probably going to be a single. You're going to have to eat it. So McKinstry, he thought he would throw it there, but he really had to eat it there. As Gurriel just kind of hit it toward, I wouldn't say a shift, but it was so weakly hit toward the third base side, there really was no chance to be able to get any sort of out there. So you have to take what you can get. So runner at first, Gurriel gets an infield single, the softest variety in the world. And you have to hope for the Tigers if it doesn't turn into anything for Hunter Renfroe, because again, as we said, he's got power. So pitch clock down to 5. This is what you need. Sweeney, Abanez, double play. Tigers turn it sweetly there. That was tailor-made. And we'll go to the 7th. We'll give you another scoring update when we come back.
Hey, Greg, you're here to announce who you think will be Detroit's top pick. We are dying to hear your thoughts. Who is it?
Sure are insurance. Don't use your old school agent. Go to true.com. Yeah, that's you doing on that. With savings up to 40%. They're ours. Sure, insurance. Drive it. For views like this, you gotta get out there. Move Ford Rodeo, where pavement just exists. Over any type of terrain. See the world from every angle. Enjoy open air freedom. And capture another day anywhere in a Ford Rodeo.
So we go to the 7th in our featured game. The Tigers still have a 4-1 lead on the Kansas City Royals.
Arby's is full of choices. You can get your favorite stuff now. 3 for $5. Incredible value. Delivered from and eat whatever you grab. Arby's, we have the meat.
For 175 years, America has thrived through every rise and fall. We've lived through triumphs and turmoil, witnessed every advance, and survived every setback. Through surety and uncertainty, America has stood the test of time, by standing by our beliefs, our values, and our customers. America Bank, 175 years strong.
Carpenter's, Captain Mutombo, Carpenter's done for the rest of the day. He's been pinch hit for Veerling. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some fantastic news. Everything else just updated, and it was sent across Bally Sports. The Guardians were down 4-2 to start the 10th inning. They rally. They win 5-4. That means if the Tigers win today against Kansas City, they'll be just a half game out of the wild card. Riley Green. Garcia will make the toss to Gurriel, and Green is turned away. So Tigers win today. Cleveland's done their job. Tigers will be a half game out of the wild card. Right now they're 1 game out. So you gain that half game. And what will happen to the Royals is they'll be only +1 in the wild card. That would send them down. And all of a sudden things get very interesting. But again, we still got a lot of game left to go as we're top 7. Tigers at the bat rack against Schreiber. Let me make sure that I get my notes together here for John Schreiber for Kansas City. Daniel Lynch was tremendous in the back portion. Again, he was the relief of Alec Marsh. Marsh was the one that got lit up for all the runs. He struggled for all 4. Torkelson 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. He got big in his last and struck out. He could have walked again. Make it 1-1 against Torque. But the Guardians win 5-4. So again, that means that the Tigers win today. They're currently up 4-1. That's why we're doing this one. They'll be just a half game out of the wild card with an off day before they head to Camden Yards in Baltimore and set up that gigantic series. I think as long as they don't get swept at Camden Yards, they really have a chance in the final 6 games at Comerica after another off day against Tampa and the Chicago White Sox. But what do you think? That's where I'm at. The main thing for the Tigers this weekend, if they win tonight, do not get swept at Camden Yards against Baltimore. Then you probably have a chance to go ahead and make the playoffs via the wild card. 2-2. Spencer Torkelson again. He has seen a lot of pitches tonight. This time it's a full count again. And we'll see if he'll walk for a third time or strike out for a second time. He's got 2 walks today, 1 punchy. 3 walks for Spencer. He could have walked 4 times, but you take 3 walks. Spencer Torkelson had a good day today. Again, you don't have to hit bombs all the time to be successful, just to keep it moving. And that's what he was able to do as Schreiber issues the walk. So Andy Ibanez, he was recently picked up off the pinch hit side for Jace Young and AJ Hinch's squad. See if Ibanez, he'll step out. He'll take a strike. He stepped out right when it was delivered, and the sweeper goes right into the zone. So Torque at first, he's walked for the 3rd time, 1 out for the Tigers, top 7. They lead 4-1. 94 is a dot on a sinker on the outside black. That's a really good pitch there. Make it 0-2. Pitch clock down at 10. Salvador Perez will give the sign to Schreiber. Try to get Ibanez here. This is right down the middle on a sweeper, but this is just going to be a lazy fly ball to Hunter Renfroe. No problem for him. He'll go ahead and make the catch, and he'll put Torkelson back to first. So excuse my excitement for anything else that we get toward the end of this game. I'm just waiting now. I wish the time could advance quickly. I know I want to be with you here and finish this call, but I want to see this Tigers get this win because it'll be a half game out of the wild card. With the Twins losing and with Kansas City possibly losing in the sweep, I mean, that really helps the Tigers gain ground. This is exactly what they needed. 91 will split the plate on a cutter. A little bit of sidearm there for Schreiber. He kind of throws a little soft toss. You see the hand kind of turn on the YouTube side. It's kind of the way he tosses it. It's going to be hard to pick up here for McKinstry, most likely, on the lefty right. 0-1. 86 on a changeup. And McKinstry did not think about it. Again, his average is not very high, about a 220 hitter. But 4 home runs, 22 RBIs, 16-16 on the stolen bases. He will work the count as much as he can. McKinstry, this is corked a little foul here. That was a good pitch, low and inside. Able to get McKinstry to off-right because it was close enough. So Baltimore does lose to San Francisco. So they're continuing to drop games. If the Yankees gain another game on that, that means they can take the AL East over Baltimore. Inside pitch on a sinker. Does not get the call. That one was bunched inside. Houston lost to San Diego 4-0. That is good news for the Mariners because the Mariners could still have the door open to them in the AL West, but they got to get going. They got to get on a big run. There's not a lot of games left. 2-2. Inside again, just gets a piece of it, does McKinstry. Probably the back edge of the knob of the bat as it stays 4-1. Boston wins 2-1 against Tampa. That'll help them gain in the wild card spot, but they're still behind the Tigers. And the Mets are going to gain a game in the wild card. They're up 10-0. I think Alec Nava is going to have Philadelphia and Milwaukee tomorrow. McKinstry stays alive again. This time on a sweeper. I thought he might have actually got that one on the nice part of the bat, but he was just ahead of it. 2-2 is the count still on McKinstry. Well, it's the 5th straight foul ball. The game at T-Mobile Park in Seattle is going to get underway in about 15 minutes. It'll be Cortez and Miller on the mound. Again, no threat for weather because they plan a dome. No threat for weather today in Kansas City. McKinstry waiting on the 0-2 yet again. This time he punches out. He really fought through that at bat. We'll get set to stretch though. Bottom 7. Kansas City needs runs. They're down 4-1.
Step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low lag stream for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time,
Give you the update for anyone that does listen on the side of the box.
stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's all live voice.
As a professional athlete, my physical and mental strength was challenged many times. But my biggest challenge came after baseball when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Studies show that exercising 2.5 hours per week can help manage Parkinson's symptoms and slow the progression of the disease. Because when fighting Parkinson's, movement matters. To donate, visit kirkgibsonfoundation.org.
Time to call Sam best call, and it's a kick save and a view from Chase Young, Andy.
I mean, that's one of the best plays, best slides I've ever seen. You talk about a guy that wants to play some ball. You said it.
So there's my update here for you in the comments part of the section for those that are joining in. Guardians rally. They win 5-4 in the 10th over the Twins. Tigers win today. They are half game out of the wild card. They still lead 4-1 as the 7th begins. That's your latest update. As we begin the bottom 7th, we get a pinch hitter, Michael Massey. I'm going to get set to check in. Again, that's going to take out Maikel Garcia. And now, again, just officially for the recorder side, I just updated on the YouTube portion of the box. Guardians rally. They were down 4-2, top 10. They win 5-4. Tigers win today. They're just a half game out of the wild card. They need to get 9 more outs as we sit in the bottom of the 7th. My excitement continues to build. Again, all I'm hopeful for in the weekend series for the O's is avoid the sweep. You have to avoid the sweep. That's the possible thing. Massive. This one toward right, and Winsell Perez off the plate off a hop. So Michael Massey continues to have a very hot series. Pinch bat off the bench. And now we'll get Kansas City in business here to start the bottom of the 7th. Hannafy can induce some double plays, but again, as we said for Paul DeJong, he is a proponent of the power. With 24 home runs and 56 RBI, 152 strikeouts, that is updated. Paul DeJong, 95 on a sinker. That's exactly what Hannafy was trying to induce on the low outside corner for a double play ball. And DeJong just took it for a strike. DeJong with a couple punch outs, actually, so it's at 153 now. 1 for 5 in the series. 94 on a sinker low, make it 0-2. So Hannafy got DeJong in the rocking chair right now and trying to finish him off. Again, as we talk about in the box, out of the 5 votes, it said is Tarek Skubal going to help the Tigers get the sweep of the Royals tonight? 4 out of 5 of you say yes. He went 5 innings. He gave up just 1 run. 0-2. 86. This will be bounced toward McKinstry, but it will go foul. So still 0-2. Kyle Isbell will be the pinch hitter for Garrett Hampson. So there's going to be a lot of changes here for Macotero, as now it'll be Michael Massey at second and Kyle Isbell in center for Hampson when he's due up next after DeJong. Bottom 7, 0-2, no outs. Inside on a sinker is Hannafy. trying to continue to work the young here. Again, the Tigers 9 outs away from being just a half game out of the American League wild card. That will move Kansas City to just 1 game ahead of Minnesota should they get swept. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He gets a piece of DeYoung. He punches out for the 3rd time today. He's 1 away from the golden sombrero. So Kyle Isbell will be the opportunist before we go to the top of the order with Tommy Pham. You're not going to take out Pham because he's already got a couple hits today and a good catch as he was racing across left field. Probably could have gave the Tigers an extra run, but he was able to get it beat for beat. Kyle Isbell is pretty good, though. So for Hampson, I think that this makes a lot of sense. Try to get that hand in this matchup on the right-left. Big cut on a changeup. He went low to try to go get it, and that wasn't close enough. Make it 0-1. Kyle Isbell, 127 games, 237 average, 42 RBI. He's not really a threat for power. He does have 8 home runs, but he will put the ball in play. 89. On a changeup, make it 1-1. John Under with you. We're watching the local feed, Bally Sports Detroit. That's the one I got today. Trying to see if the Tigers can come through. They got the news that they needed tonight. As far as the Guardians, they need to make sure they finish their own business right now. That's all you can do is keep winning. 1-1. Inside toward the hands of Isbell, trying to fight it off. This time down the first base line, make it 1-2. So let's go Royals. They're doing those chants right now. Again, they've had to sit on their hands for a long time in this game. That's where the Tigers want to keep it right now. And you have to remind yourself that if the Tigers get this victory, it drags the Royals down with them as well, where they'd only be a game ahead of the Twins in the wild card. So it's not at all impossible to say that they could catch either one of these teams, but they both own the tiebreaker over Detroit. So there is no 1-game 63. He got the friendly call on a slider to Hannafy, and he punches out Isbell right in off that bench bat. So you take him right back to where he was. He'll go grab some pine. And Tommy Pham now will start this one in the 7th with 2 outs. Tommy Pham's been pretty good today. Should have had 2 hits. He definitely has 1. And if he's trying to get through this now with pitch number 23. 94 on a sinker. That one low, but in the zone. 0-1. Bobby Witt Jr., they're going to try to make sure that he stays there with the bases empty. That's the most important thing right now. He's had a tough game today, but that probably means he's due. 0-1. Against Pham. 87 splits the plate on a slider. I don't know what Pham was waiting for. I was right down the middle. I was center cut. Bobby Witt, 330, 32 home runs, 108 RBI. Trying to make sure they do all they can to make sure he only starts in the bottom of the 8th. 0-2, 2 outs, runner at first. Pham. Late swing, and he punches right through it. Hannafy does the job, and the Tigers keep their score. Strikeout the side does Hannafy. It's still 4-1. Let's go to the 8th.
The excellence of driving is matched by the excellence of the dealer GM employees and current eligible GMs get this ultra-long mileage lease on this 2024 Houston Vista Convertible for $239 per month.
Fire Law, official law firm of the Detroit Tigers. Fire Law, we like our clients because we work as a team. We're homegrown, trial lawyers who don't leave anything on the table. Fire Law, all we do is win.
I'm bad at the FBC. There are so many jackpots, and you never know what's going to be. So many.
I'm going to get set to go to the 8th. We haven't had any run scoring since the 3rd inning when the Tigers scored 3. We still have a 4-1 advantage, and they are 6 outs away from being a half game out of the wild card. It's unbelievable, but the Tigers have played so well over this last month and a half and now stretching into more. that during that time, I think they have the best record in all of baseball. They've really had to earn it over the last few in between KC and Baltimore because they took 2 or 3 at Comerica Park. Now they might take all 3 at Kauffman and win 5 of the last 6 games against these 2 teams. I don't know if the Tigers are going to be able to do it, but I'm going to enjoy the ride. That's all I can tell you. Sam Long, now the new reliever here for Kansas City. 38 in the third innings, 329, 23% strikeout rate, 10% walk rate. As Sweeney takes a tough curveball. That was a gorgeous one for Long as it fell right toward the bottom portion outside of the box. 0-2. And Sweeney's up against it. His 2-run double in the third made it 4-1. That's still where we are. And then Sweeney punches right out. So Long makes quick work of Trey and 1 up, 1 down, top 8. Kansas City, once they get to their portion of the bat rack, have 6 outs left to score 3 runs to keep this one going. Otherwise, the Tigers will continue to claw a little closer, and that time I can actually use the segue. So Jacob Rogers will be the number 9 batter before we flip over to Parker Meadows. 94 dotted on the low outside black, 0-1. As Jason Benetti and Andy Dirks are sharing a few more conversations. They like to be pretty chatty and tell stories. You know what, honestly, as I got to watch over the last couple, I really like Jason Benetti. I really like Andy Dirks. I think that's probably the go-ahead move. Alex Avila was pretty good when he was here a couple times. And Dan Petrie's all right, but I think Andy Dirks probably is where it is. But again, for Andy and Dan Dickerson, that's a gold standard too. Will Vest, now getting warm for the Tigers, the righty. I think the bottom 8th is going to be his. Is Brendan Hannafy absolutely did the job. He struck out the side in the bottom of the 7th. Jake Rogers went fishing. He went for a pitch way outside the zone, not even close. And 2 punch outs for the first 7 pitches here for Sam Long. So bullpen relief in the critical innings, that's mattered a lot right now. They got a couple punchies. I'll leave it up to Parker Meadows. So it'll be the last hope in the top of the 8th. Tigers will have a 3-run lead, but it's not safe until the game's done. That's how I have to leave it there. Can't get too far ahead of myself, but I know the Tigers at worst will still be a game and a half back should they lose this one if Kansas City comes all the way back. Hope that's not the case, but that is what's in front of you right now. Tigers won't lose any positioning today. 1-0 against Parker Meadows. He's got a hit. This is slider way down low. We'll get Perez under the crouch. The Yankees and the Mariners are now just underway top first. I know Cooper Hopkins will be keeping his eye on that. The Mariners still have the AL West open to them, but they're going to need the Astros to lose a couple games. The Mariners got to get hot. 94 will be an obligatory take for Parker, make it 2-1. He's 1 for 4 with a single in the 6th, 5 for 13 in the series. 2-1 pitch. This is hammered to Gurriel, but will win the race toward the bag. Tigers get turned away. Let's go bottom 8. Tigre still up 4-1. It'll be Witt, Salvi, and Grossman due up next. Do this again. Okay. So you can tell me right now in the comments if you guys are listening and following along. Tigers going to take this one. It's 4-1 Kansas City down to their final 6 outs. Think they can hold on here because it's probably Will Vest, Jason Foley. Tigers really need the off day. They're going to get one here against Baltimore heading into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they'll get another one in the mix between Tampa and Chicago White Sox at Comerica Park. Currently still a 4-1 scoreline. It's been that way since the 3rd inning for Detroit. think it'll be safe to turn the volume back up here because anytime you get any music, it's always copyright. So we're waiting through the commercial break, and we have the meat of the order here for the Royals due up next. It'll be Bobby Witt, Salvador Perez, and Robbie Grossman, 2, 3, 4 for Matt Quintero's squad. Let's go bottom 8. Bobby Witt, got to get things going here for the Royals. Very friendly call. Hanafy's still on the mound. And Bobby Witt's got to be saying, come on, man, this is absolutely ridiculous. He's been messed up on a couple calls here. That one way down low. He punched out on a fastball that was caught looking outside the left high. 0-1 will get set to dig back in. 0-2. Couple punchies here for Bobby. This is sliced. A high pop of McKinstry trying to find it. They give away. It drops in the middle of the infield. My goodness. And Bobby Witt, he's able to get a double because the Tigers can't play defense there. And that is very unfortunate. I don't think there was enough communication in between McKinstry and Trey Sweeney of who has the baseball. And Bobby Witt never stopped running, as you shouldn't. He's got a double. And that was a blooper that should have easily been caught. And this could open the door now for the Kansas City Royals. That is ugly, ugly baseball. And you have to say it that way. Salvador Perez. It should be 1 out in the bottom 8, but Bobby Witt Jr. gets a bloop double. Should be an error against Detroit. And Witt's at second. Salvador Perez now will get an opportunity with runner in scoring position. Hanafy trying to deliver the 1-0 against Salvi. Base hit. Witt's got a lot of speed. They're going to send him. He should score this one easily. And the Tigers' leads now is down to 4-2. A bloop double that should have been caught by the Tigers. Salvador Perez makes them pay. Makes it 4-2. You got a runner on first with nobody out in the bottom 8. Again, the good news for Detroit is that the Guardians rallied in the 10th and got the victory, but the Tigers need to get this to just be a half game out and get the sweep. Yes, they've won the series against KC no matter what happens, but you can't leave it at that right now. You just can't leave it at that. Will Vest and Sean Gunther now getting warm, the righty and the lefty, and AJ Hinch I think is going to make no diplomacy. He's just going to pull out Hanafy. I know that the defense didn't bail him out on the last side, but they're going to make the change. And this is big for Detroit. They still need 6 more outs to get. Runner at first, Salvador Perez. Let's come right back. The lead's been cut. It's 4-2. So we'll give you the latest scoring update in the comment box. We finally got a score since the 3rd inning when Detroit took a 4-1 lead. Bobby Witt Jr. bloop double should have been caught. Salvador Perez single. That spells the end of the day for Hanafy, but his line's not done as Salvador Perez is stationed at first. Tigers still up 4-2, but it got a little tighter. We'll see if they want to still go 4-5-6 with Robbie, Yuli Gurriel, and Hunter Renfroe. So Freddie Fermin is going to hit for Robbie Grossman. That'll be the DH side done there. Sean Gunther, the lefty, will get set to take on Freddie Fermin. Then those should go to Yuli Gurriel and Hunter Renfroe. It's a big opportunity for Kansas City to add on runs. Tigers still lead 4-2 at Kauffman in Kansas City, Missouri. John out here with you on the call. The game is trying to be as neutral as possible, although I know what's going on with the Tigers and what's at stake here. Freddie Fermin is an absolutely dangerous bat that will put bat on ball. Selvey does not run well, so the double play possibility is open at first. Tigers still got a 4-2 lead with a run around in the first and no outs. Good splitter for Gunther at 83. Caught the bottom outside black. Make it 0-1. So splitter down and away. That was the last pitch. This one inside the kitchen. McKinstry, soft toss over. Try to get for me. Double play! Tigers turned it when they absolutely had to. And now 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. That is a giant double play turn. 2 pitches, 2 outs. That sounds pretty good to Sean Gunther. 91 on a sinker. Turned right over to Zach McKinstry. No problem there. Soft toss to Ibanez. Feed over to Torkelson. As clean as you like. And the Tigers feel a little bit better as this one is spiked in the dirt from a splitter. And if that wasn't turned, that would have absolutely scored a run. So right after that, you got a wild pitch, but it doesn't matter when nobody's on the base paths. So Yuri Gurriel now all of a sudden the last possible out maybe in the 8th. Spiked in the dirt again by Gunther. Again, make no mistake about what Gunther's trying to throw right now. But for Gurriel, yes, he could lace one down the line, but I don't think he's a threat to take it deep. Last one, I can't say beat the shift, but it was down third base. He got a soft single. Now 90 does not get the call. That was low and inside. Gunther's got to find it here. You don't want to go back to put somebody on the base paths and then make it a 4-4 game. So go right after Gurriel. I know it's 3-0 on the count. Got to be ready to swing. If you're early, and you don't. Didn't have to. 4-pitch walk. I think he just lost him there because I wouldn't understand the reason to go ahead and walk Gurriel there. Hunter Renfroe. Again, I've talked about his home run power as he's been sitting at 13. Can still slash one. Can still take you deep. And you got to be careful here if you're Gunther. Again, you got a 4-pitch walk. Chris Bubich, Carlos Hernandez, the lefties, and righty warming up. 5 straight balls now for Gunther after that double play. Got to get set to lock back in here. There was some pinch hitting movement there from Acrochero's squad, so it's not going to be McKellen Garcia. It'll be Michael Massey. He'll be next if the Royals do reach. Finally gets a strike in there after 5 straight balls. 90-mile-an-hour sinker is low and in. 1-1 pitch for Renfroe. 0 for 3 on the day. He offers at a splitter outside the zone. 1-2. Tigers trying to clean this one up after Salvador Perez got an RBI single on a Bobby Witt play. That got him the second. It should have been caught. McKinstry and Sweeney couldn't find it in the infield. Gave the Royals an RBI. This is off the end of the bat. This is might fall. This is racing. This is foul down the right field line. It fell, but it fell into foul territory, and Gurriel was trying to run all the way home. That sliced. It stayed up in the air long enough for the Tigers, unfortunately, to go foul. It was out in front and almost put down the line for a double. So Hunter Renfroe still in this thing. Make it 1-2. Tigers have a lot on the line, but so does Kansas City right now because they want to keep their wild card leverage. Tigers want to gain after the Cleveland result tonight as they beat the Twins. 1-2. This is hit pretty well. Toward left, Green just shy of the warning track. Makes the catch. Tigers get one more time at the bat rack before Kansas City down to their final 3 outs. Vierling, Winsell Perez, and Riley Green due up in the top of the 9th. We're going to get set to end this game, ladies and gentlemen, and I only hope it stays clean one time for Detroit. Thank you for joining me. I know this has been a huge game. I've had a lot of listeners in here across, so you guys jumped in and out. I humbly appreciate it. Let's get you some scoring updates across the league. Bottom 8, 1-1, Brew Crew at the bat rack against the Phillies. It's 1 run on 4 hits for both teams. Pirates are getting lambasted 10-5 against the Cards at Busch. It is a 2-0 lead for the Rangers, who are not making the playoffs after winning the World Series. Blue Jays down 2-0. Mariners and Yankees. Mariners got lambasted by the Bronx Bombers last night, gave up double-digit runs. That's scoreless top 2. I think those are your only current. Everything else has gone final. Final scores for you: 5-3, the A's beat the Cubs. Diamondbacks win 9-4 over the Rockies. They want to continue that in the NL wildcard. The Angels beat the White Sox in 13 innings. The White Sox fall to 36 and 117. Man, oh man. The Orioles lose another 5-3 in Camden Yards to the Giants. The Braves and Reds get destroyed by the Braves. They lose 7-1. The Astros drop a result of the Padres. They lose 4-0. Dodgers all over the Marlins 8-4. Guardians, they win in extras. They were down 4-2. They win 5-4, rally in 10. The Red Sox top the Rays 2-1. The Mets obliterate the Nationals 10-0. Carlos Hernandez against Matt Bierling. As we go top 9, Tigers still lead 4-2. They had a 4-1 lead in the third. In the 8th inning, Salvador Perez brought on Bobby Witt on a ball that should have been caught. 0-for-1 with the lineout in the 6th. Taken out against Kerry Carpenter is Matt Bierling. He gets his second at-bat of the day. See if the Tigers can get any more insurance before they will go to the bottom 9. If the Royals don't find a way to get this win, they'll drop to just 1-game lead in the wild card. Tigers would move up to a half, only behind the Twins. So there's a lot to like tonight if the Tigers can hold on. At worst, if the Tigers lose, they'll still be a game and a half out. That's just the update for anyone else who's just joining us. I know I mentioned that several times, but I have to. So 2-1 is the count against Matt Bierling. 84, as this is just caught below on a curveball on the bottom portion of the black. So it'll be Bierling, Perez, and Green in 2-3-4 for AJ Hinch. Due up in the top 9. As now they're playing with pens here for Jason and Andy Turks. You got those colored pens in the square book. You have to have those. 2-2 is the count against Bierling on Hernandez, who's the new bullpen arm for Casey. 2-2. Bierling does not offer on a slider. That one on the outside, the Kansas City fans are going to boo, but that was definitely a ball. Winsel Perez will be due up next to the bat rack, 242, 9 bombs, 34 RBI. Full count pitch against Bierling. Good work there from Matt. 99 low and takes it for a walk. Tigers trying to get some insurance here in this top 9. You never know how much you're going to need. Tigers bullpen has been good. Tyler Holton, he'd probably be the guy with the off day. Who knows? You could still go Jason Foley, but Tyler Holton has probably been the best of the best arm, if you want to go that way. But Winsel Perez, see what he can do. Matt Bierling at first after the walk from Hernandez. 98. For Winsel, he's taking a lot of looks at strikes. And again, I know he's a young hitter still at 24, but you got to swing at some of these. Not early in the count, but especially when you need to, when you're up against it, 1-2, 0-2, stuff like that, and it's close, you got to swing. Spiked in the dirt on the knuckle curve, make it 1-1. Be very interesting. I would be very surprised if the Tigers go into Kaufman and get the sweep. I thought, that they would need to get 2 considering where they are in the playoff chase, but to possibly get all 3, that would be a welcome sight. Winsel, they look to see if he offers. They say he did not. Third base coach said he did not go. Make it 2-1. Riley Green had a solo shot in the 3rd inning. Trey Sweeney, 2 RBI double. Made it 4-1. Tigers got fortunate on a couple of misplays at first, a couple errors, gave the Tigers the first run in the second inning. Now they say this time Perez went, make it 2-2. Hernandez, 10 pitches into his day. He's got to absolutely shut the door so Kansas City has a chance in the bottom of the ninth. They're trailing 4-2. Perez will offer at 99. Again, that one was close enough where he had to swing. This time he did. Nothing wrong with the bat speed. Followed it back at 99. Tigers trying to get an add-on run. They got no outs, runner at first, and Matt Beerling with a walk. Top 9. 2-2 pitch, very high. 3-2. Wencel Perez. See if he can get a walk. See if they want to put Matt Beerling in motion, if they want to get nasty here. I know it might be hard to do considering where we are in the game, top 9, 4-2. 3-2. Spiked in the dirt. Back-to-back walks from Hernandez, and that's not exactly what you call bullpen relief, as Riley Green has an opportunity to break this thing wide open with runners at first and second and Perez and Beerling. He smashed a home run to right field in the third inning, absolutely killed it. There is no ballpark that would have been held unless you're talking about polo grounds. So Riley Green playing cleanup, 83 high. Tigers in business here with a 2-run lead. Runners on first and second and no outs. Top 9. Pitch clock down to 5. Riley Green waiting on the pitch from Hernandez. 2-0. Riley Green got a good hitter's count. These pitches have not threatened the zone right now, and I wonder for Riley if you got to get an obligatory take. Even for somebody like him if it's down the middle. 2-0 pitch from Hernandez. 97. This is going to turn a double play. This is not what you want for Riley. He did not beat it. So a 6-3 double play turned. Tigers really need to get that extra run home. Riley Green didn't want to hit into a double play. I was kind of hoping he'd be a little more selective there. Spencer Torkelson, speaking of selective, I know he's punched out once. He's walked 3 times. Do they even want to mess with it here? Torkelson's had a good eye. I think in this game, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, I think he can get a base hit and give the Tigers a 5-2 lead. It's been locked in as far as his selection. 99, it challenged him there. He was late. 0-1 against Torkelson. So Riley Green hits into a double play. They had runners at first and second. He got the runner at third. And this could essentially cancel out any of the Tigers' offense unless Torque comes through. 100. This one will go warping into the dugout. Make it 0-2. That time he was a little bit early. Will Vest still throwing. I don't see Tyler Holton. They've been using him so much, but you know what? It's one of the times where he might have to fuse until his arm falls off. But they got Will Vest. Will Vest can be hot and cold. You want to try to get more of a 2-run lead. It's 4-2 though for Detroit. 100 for Torkelson. Thank goodness we have that safety netting because that could have hit one of the fans. That was obliterated foul. Still 0-2 as AJ Hinch looks on. A giant game for both teams right now because Kansas City doesn't want to lose their spot in the wild card, and Detroit needs the game. Torkelson swing and a miss. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, a double play from Riley Green. Swing and a miss from Torque, and the Tigers are going to have to get it done with a 4-2 lead. It's Michael Massey, Paul DeYoung, and Kyle Isbell due up in the bottom 9.
Is there still that underdog mentality because they offer savings in states that have major car insurance problems?
Andrea, it's not about the dog in the fight. It's about fighting the dog.
Huron Insurance. Drive well. Hey guys, how we feeling? You ready? Hey, Adams Elementary. Go Reds. I think we need some too. What do you think?
This is not just food
You
protection.
guys ready to fight some crime?
Yeah.
Okay, we go get them, all right?
This is a neighbor looking out.
So the Tigers are going to win this one. They're going to have to do so with a 4-2 lead.
With Chevy trucks, be ready for adventure.
Let's give you the final line for the Tigers, hopefully. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error.
And the potential to take you anywhere. Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for around $3.19 a month. Chevy drives to Motor City together. Let's drive.
Tigers Live coming up after the game.
So we're going to set this up here about 15 seconds or so from the bottom of the ninth. Kansas City Royals are trailing 4-2. They get 2 runs here. They can always get this to extras, but they're going to have to do so in the bottom of the order. Michael Massey, Paul DeYoung, and Kyle Isbell will be due up next, 7, 8, and 9. Sean Gunther on the mound right now still. Will Vest was getting warm. Again, they did charge an error to McKinstry in the 8th when a fell in off the Bobby Witt loop and a single from Salvador Perez in the 8th. That's still where we are. 4-2 Tigers still have the lead. Massey, 1 for 1. He's pinch hitting for Miguel Garcia. Oh, what a play for Spencer Torkelson! Absolute robbery as he dives over and gets it out. That was smashed. And Torkelson, I didn't think he had any way to get to it. He robs a base hit. Paul DeYoung now going to have to try to get it going. Spencer Torkelson might have made the play of the game right there because you never know what's going to happen with Kansas City. So Gunther gets his out. They'll go to Will Vest. 2 outs left to get in the bottom of the ninth. Torkelson with a ridiculous play to get the first out in the bottom of the ninth against the Royals. So let's take a look. Sean Gunther's line is done. So Hannafy, I'll just type these in for the story's sake. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts for Hannafy. Sean Gunther, his final line is done in a 1 inning and a third with 1 walk. So they're going to put Will Vest in to close. No Tyler Holton today. I think they're really going to try to give him this day off and then tomorrow for the extra day before they'll probably need him a lot against the Baltimore Orioles. It's a little bit of a gamble there for AJ Hinch, but honestly, with 4-2 lead right now for the Tigers, even no matter what happens, I think I have to agree with him there. I think Tyler Holton, he needs some rest. I want to give him the extra day. Will Vest's got to come through. That's really all there is to it. So Sean Gunther got an absolutely tremendous play there from Spencer Torkelson, and now Will Vest trying to close it in the final 2 outs. 0-1 is the count against Kansas City with 1 out. Paul DeYoung and Kyle Isbell would be 8-9 if they don't make any changes here. Pitch up toward the kitchen for DeYoung. He follows it straight back. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Kansas City trying to avoid the sweep, but they need 2 runs to extend the bottom of the ninth. Tigers trying to get the sweep and pull half game from the wild card. 0-2 pitch. Way high at 97. We'll take Jake Rogers over the crouch. Don't go anywhere. I know most of you guys tonight have not. You've been jumping in and out between the YouTube side. I humbly appreciate it. It's been bumping. It's a big game for both teams. 1-2. 96 and toward the hands. And Albanez makes the catch. He takes a couple steps in towards second, and the Royals are down to their final out of the ball game. Kyle Isbell was the last pinch hit for Garrett Hampson. We'll see if this continues or they want to make anything else. It's going to be Kyle Isbell right now against Will Vest. Will Vest 1 out away to get the save, and the Tigers get a sweep of the Kansas City Royals late in the year. Oh, one pitch now with a gorgeous fastball dotted on the bottom portion of the black of the box. 0-1. Will Vest trying to come through for the Tigres. 91 on a changeup. That was very low. 1-1. Tommy Pham will be due up next. And then should he reach, it'll be Bobby Witt Jr. to follow. There's 2 outs, though, in the bottom 9. Spiked in the dirt of the changeup. Make it 2-1. So Will Vest, you want to see if he goes back to the fastball. That's what Andy Dirks wants to see. John here with you on the play-by-play. We're trying to close this one in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Tigers nursing a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 9th. Isbell, 2-1. Followed straight back. Kansas City potentially down to their final strike. Make it 2-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Tigers up by 2 runs. They took a 4-1 lead into the 3rd inning. Salvador Perez got an RBI single off the air from the Tigers in the 8th. Still 4-2. Vest trying to get the final strike. Strike 3! Tigers win! They get the sweep, and they're a half game out of the wild card. 4-2 victory for Detroit, and all of a sudden now, this weekend series against the Baltimore Orioles is going to open all sorts of doors. The Tigers are right there, but they got to be able to avoid the sweep this weekend. If they just get 1, if they just take 2 after sweeping the Royals here, they've got a chance, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you can say. Half game out of the wild card. It drags the Royals with the sweep, just a 1-game lead over Minnesota. So they've gained ground on them. Minnesota lost 5-4 in extras to the Cleveland Guardians. So the Tigers are just a half game out from Minnesota and 1.5 out of the Royals. Tigers win, a massive one at that. 4-2 is your final. They'll get the off day before they play the Baltimore Orioles in Camden Yards this weekend. Buckle up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tigers win, and they draw closer to the wild card. See you later, guys.
And you see AJ down there. In his heart, I can't imagine how proud he is of this Tiger squad. What they've been through this year. The struggle.
If your heart's beating a little bit extra, that's because you witnessed the Tigers baseball down the stretch. Half game. It's a half game. I can't believe it. You know what, honestly, if we get to the weekend side where it's still close, we might be going down the stretch toe for toe between Tampa and the White Sox. You might have to. If we're still following across this type of run and the Tigers are keeping it going, they win 4-2, they're a half game out now. You might have to, because it might come down to the wire. You might see the Detroit Tigers in the postseason. Who knows? We'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. I humbly appreciate you joining me. Peace.